Are you stuck at home on a Saturday night with nothing to do again?
I can't take it anymore!
Then join me, my co-hosts, and my guests every Saturday evening for Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Okay.
Together we'll discuss the big news of the week from entertainment and politics, talk about the issues that are on your mind, and hey, we'll even talk about general stupidity and jackassery from the American right.
You stupid jackass!
So join me every Saturday evening, 6 to 9 p.m. Central at my Ustream home, Mic Check Radio. Come on in, it'll be loads of fun.
Gee, I sure hope there's a happy ending. I love a happy ending.
Live on all the interwebs and internets, it's Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Fuck yeah!
Turn on my mic and off we go. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Is it me or did something big happen this week? I don't
know. To tell the truth, I just now sobered up. And I think something happened. I don't really remember.
There was something big. Oh, that's right. We kicked Mitt Romney's ass.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. Was that? I mean, let's before we got a little tribute to Reversible Mittens, but let's go over the casualties. Todd Aiken, Richard Murdoch, the rapey McRapersons, gone. We gained a seat in North Dakota, a seat we were not expected to keep.
Always a good thing.
Yeah. What else? Senator Elizabeth Warren. And I always said the GOP, if they lost Scott Brown's seat, there was no way they were going to keep they were going to get the Senate. And we not only held all 23 Democratic seats that were up, we gained 5 seats. So, that takes some, come on. That takes some doing, right?
Take some
I'm sorry?
Let's not forget the ballot initiatives.
Oh, yeah. Pot is now legalized in 2 states, and gay marriage in 4.
I have one thing to say about
that. That's Foley. I'm pretty sure he's not getting high on the air, FBI. Just don't.
Yeah.
Just don't.
No, I'm in Washington.
Yeah. That's Foley. That's Foley. That's Foley. So yeah, it was a great election. And now not everything is settled because unfortunately Michelle Bachmann made it back. She did not lose.
Well, we got to at least have one crazy.
We couldn't take all of them out. We had to save something for Jon Stewart and Bill Maher.
So comedy dodged a bullet. But it looks like we're going to be losing Alan West. Florida has certified the vote count in his race. Patrick Murphy has won by approximately 2,600 votes. So, bye-bye, loser. And I do have a little message for Alan West.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Exactly.
Bye-bye. And
don't let the door hit you on the ass on the way out.
Because we do not want your nasty ass prints on our nice door. On the people's door. But yeah.
I'm just glad that I was able to get an Alan West asshole of the weekend before he lost.
This is. I'm sure he's going to do. He's not going to give up. You know what I want?
He still refuses to concede, even though there's no way he can win.
He refuses to concede. I wanted to come down to this House Sergeant at Arms, having to grab him and toss him out on the street.
That would be fucking hilarious.
If this happens, it has to be part of the congressional record forever.
It wouldn't be the craziest thing that's ever happened in Congress. I will say that.
Yeah. But yeah,
Wait, something crazier.
It was in the there was somebody. It was in the 1800s.
Oh, you're talking about the
where,
caning, the canings.
Yeah, the guy who got beaten with a stick.
Yeah, it was he. It was this anti-slavery guy. He was making copies of his anti-slavery speech, and this guy from the South just comes up and starts wailing on him with a cane.
Yeah, it's worth remembering. I mean, as crazy as politics seem nowadays, they were crazier at certain points.
So
well,
yeah,
I mean, it depends where you're at.
It's German
like,
for
oops, sorry.
Like the Far East and whatnot, their politicians get crazy.
Yeah.
Don't even get me started.
So, in case you can't tell, the theme of the show for tonight is going to be Schadenfreude. And in case
I knew that was coming out.
And in case you don't know what Schadenfreude is, we've got a definition for you.
It's German for happiness at the misfortune of others.
And boy, are we lousy with Schadenfreude tonight. I mean, the right wing just went bat shit crazy. It's been, Karl Rove melting down on Fox. On Fox. You know what? I think we should kick off the Schadenfreude Fest with that.
I mean, if you're going to melt down, what better place than Fox? You fit right in.
Oh, dear. I don't... So...
Exactly.
I think I got the wrong video, because this is from Crooks and Liars, and that wasn't the right one. Oh, there we go. So... Yeah. Here we go. Karl Rove melting down on Fox News. Karl Rove melting down on Fox News.
The Romney camp has real doubts about the call that's been made by us and I guess other networks about Ohio. They do not believe that Ohio is in the Obama camp. I just got an email from a top Romney person. I said, do you agree with our call? He said, not really. You went through this in 2000. You almost went through it in 2004. Do you believe that Ohio has been settled?
No, I don't.
So you're not saying that Obama isn't going to win, but you're just saying he hasn't won it yet.
I think this is premature. We got a quarter of the vote.
I understand what Carl's saying, but if you look at some of these counties that are still left out there, there are votes, a lot of votes left for Obama.
I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but we got to be careful about calling things when we have like 991 votes separating the two candidates and a quarter of the vote yet to count.
Well, folks.
So Karl Rove is saying all of a sudden he's in favor of standards.
Yeah.
Yeah, when it's in his favor, right?
Yep. So there's more to this. I just want to stop and point that out. All of a sudden, now Fox News has discovered journalistic integrity. So here we go.
Thanks.
So maybe not so fast.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. It's great to have you guys here.
That's awkward.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Karl Rove said that we should figure out what the deal is.
Try to get to the bottom of this. Out the door. They used to keep him right here with us in the studio, and then for some reason, whoa, careful. Then for some reason, they moved him down the hall. We were too close. We were thinking this wouldn't be necessary, but as it turns out, so we'll do a little interrogation and see if they stand by their call, notwithstanding the doubts that Karl Rove has attempted to place.
I like the way she calls it interrogation.
Keep coming. Here we go.
Hurry up,
you tell me
bitch.
whether you stand by your call on Ohio, given the doubts Karl Rove just raised.
We're actually quite comfortable with the call in Ohio. Basically, right now, there's too much Obama vote that's outstanding there that we know is going to come in, that is going to be Obama. And while, yes, there are a number of counties out there that will be Romney, the largest thing that's outstanding right now is the Cleveland area. It's Cuyahoga. This is Democratic territory, and we're quite comfortable with the idea that Obama will carry Ohio.
Look, we've had one instance where something was prematurely called.
You know it well.
They said this is not.
Yeah, hold on. I want to point this out. That premature call in 2000 was by George W. Bush's cousin. That was what set off that panic where he said Bush won. Then all of a sudden, every other network that had called it for Gore, all of a sudden Fox says Bush won. Oh my God, they must be onto something. despite the fact that Fox News basically is a propaganda outfit. You know, this is the problem. You know, you got companies like CNN, which had a reputation for journalistic excellence at one time, basically trying to emulate the Fox News model and be Fox News Light by being shamelessly dishonest. And, so yeah, Karl Rove's just having this meltdown, and he shouldn't even be on, he's not a journalist, he's a hack. And I think it's safe to say that after Tuesday night, he was busy packing his bags to get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, if I was Karl Rove, I would definitely go into the witness protection program, because, man, he has some serious millionaires that are very not happy with him.
Oh, yes. So Bush's brain got himself a lobotomy.
I mean, anybody who goes by Bush's brain is already going to be at a disadvantage.
So, yeah. Now, I will say that John especially, I remember, he was like, Romney's ahead! It's like, calm down.
Yeah, because early on, those states that you knew how they were going to go came in.
First of all, they don't usually count California, the solid blue, or, you know, like California and Texas. Those don't get awarded until the end of the night out of a courtesy. It's like, why the fuck are we showing courtesy to a bunch of knuckle-dragging Republicans? First of all. Second of all, the red counties always report first because they're smaller, and once they have, you know, they're going to shut down once they have 100% of the voters. You know, if they hit 100, let's say a small county has 30 registered voters and they hit all 30, they're going to shut down and count their votes.
Yeah,
and
low population counties also tend to be lean more to the right. I mean,
exactly. So yeah, it looks like there's a lot of red at first. The good stuff starts at about 9 o'clock Central. That's when you get the urban centers reporting, and you know the polls. Most of the polls are closed by 9 Central. In fact, I think they're all closed.
Once New York and New Jersey and Pennsylvania a bit later came in, that was pretty much when I was like, okay, it's not called, but yeah, okay, it's pretty much in.
So yeah. Still, very good night. Tammy Baldwin, the first openly gay U.S. Senator from the great state of Wisconsin. You know, I mean...
Yeah, I love the taste of that.
And you Wisconsin. Just know... You just know...
Oh, wait, are we talking about cheese?
Yeah, I was going to say that. Are we talking about cheese?
No, we're talking about Tammy Baldwin, the first openly gay United States Senator.
Gay rights, cheese, you know. Whatever.
Both of them are tasty. Yeah.
However, before we move on, I think that it's important. I mean, obviously, we're doing the all Schadenfreude show. We're spiking the ball a bit. But I think it's always important to pay tribute to a fallen enemy. And I'm sure you all agree with me.
Certainly.
And I'm sure...
Which fallen enemy, though?
Huh?
Which fallen enemy, though?
The Romney campaign. So, over the week, I started this Wednesday night, and I put together a tribute to the gaffe machine that is the Romney campaign.
From Mitt, who really has been demonized in many ways.
Join me in welcoming the next President of the United States, Paul Ryan. So we went to the company and we said, look, you can't have any illegals working on our property. I'm running for office, for Pete's sake. I can't have illegals. And I'm learning to say y'all, and I like grits, and strange things are happening to me. Corporations are people, my friend. We can raise taxes, and of course they are. Everything corporations earn ultimately goes to people. So I went to a number of women's groups and said, can you help us find folks? And they brought us whole binders full of women. Little history. I was born and raised here. I love this state. It seems right here. The trees are the right height. I'll tell you what. $10,000? $10,000 bet? Thank you, Garrett. Would you see that one of those chocolate goodies finds its way to our ride? I love cars. I love American cars. I like being able to fire people who provide services to me. I like seeing the lakes. I love the lakes. There's something very special here. The Great Lakes, but also all the little inland lakes that dot the parts of Michigan. Syria plays an important role in the Middle East, particularly right now. Syria is Iran's only ally in the Arab world. It's their route to the sea.
Stop it. This is hard. You want to try it? Get in the ring. This is hard.
I just got these pancakes from a restaurant called Pancakes, Egg, Etc. It's kind of a play on words. And I know what it's like to worry whether you're going to get fired. There were a couple of times I wondered whether I was going to get a pink slip. He wants to hire more government workers. He says we need more firemen, more policemen, more teachers. Did he not get the message of Wisconsin? The American people did. It's time for us to cut back on government and help the American people.
Romney Ryan, Romney Ryan, Romney Ryan. There we go. All right, that's great. Thank you. Oh, sweet Jesus.
I'm sorry.
So, yes. And we do have a reaction.
Although you did miss my favorite Romney moment of the entire campaign.
Well, I mean, literally, I have no time left on that music. I used it all.
Yeah, you got to pick and choose.
Yeah. So I do have a reaction to that from Zangief from the hit Jean-Claude Van Damme movie Street Fighter.
Beautiful.
Oh, no. No! Okay, never mind.
He either thinks it's beautiful or he plays a mean guitar. Okay.
That was beautiful.
There we go. There we go. Got it right this time. So yeah, and actually, I know I told you all because I was just so happy. I showed this to Kenny Pick because he does a lot of audio editing too, and he said, "What you need to do is make a 1 minute 30 edit of that, send it to Stephanie Miller. I guarantee you it'll get played at least once." So I did, and the hardest part was so basically I edited the background music, Auld Lang Syne first, to a 130, but a little less than 130 because that clip for Mitt, who really has been demonized, and the hardest part was just deciding which clips to get rid of because it's like there's so much material here.
Yeah, I will never forget through every campaign the rest of my days when some black people showed up and he said, "Who let the dogs out? Who?"
But yeah, so I did the edit. I sent it in, and it got played twice.
Nice.
I got, and we'll hear that later because I got a laugh out of John Fugelsang. I mean,
we're gonna have to insult him for the next 2 hours straight because his head is so big now.
Yeah, oh man, Adam.
Who, John Fugelsang or me?
You.
Yeah. Hey, Adam.
Yeah.
You're ugly, and your mother dresses you funny.
So yeah, before we go to wait a minute, I'm the one in charge. You can't insult me. So, of course.
Yeah, we can.
I'm just that badass.
You're fired, all of you. No, don't go.
Okay, I'm gonna drinking then.
So of course, this little gem came out after the election, but this was election day. Listen to this. This is a GOP poll watcher just freaking out. Come on. Stupid. Okay, there it goes. What the hell?
Yeah,
they weren't saying anything. They weren't electioneering. They weren't intimidating. They were just handing out food, drink, all the glad hand stuff, the sweet, lovely things they say. Yeah, a very high concentration of people of color. That's not a problem, but when I go to the mall, I see this amount. Well, I'm seeing at least double, triple that amount here. So what I'm saying is, it looks to me like this voting location was selected as the place that told everyone to come.
I was just saying that the population is voting is not representative of Aurora's population. Even look at the people. Look at the people who got killed in the movie theater. 12 of them, and they're all. If you look at the racial mixture of those people, if you look at those kinds of things, what we're seeing here is triple the number of people of color at this location. That's because they've been directed here.
God!
Maybe it's a website. I don't know what's going on.
I'm trying to figure out if there's more. Hold on. Okay, that's it.
I don't know. That made my brain hurt enough. Thank you.
Yeah. Notice how he gauges based on how many people died in the theater in Aurora. Classy touch. Classy.
Oh yeah.
With a KKK. Am I the only person who says what a dick? Am I a
that guy's a dick.
First off, we have to remember that we're dealing with the Republicans, and right now, and I'm sure this is something we're going to touch on later in the show, they have trouble dealing with the new reality that is setting in on them.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the reasons why I want to have War on. I did invite him because I want to have a serious discussion about what does the Republican Party do to rebuild. Are they just going to keep
I can make some suggestions.
Well,
me too.
I mean, are they going to keep on skewing further to the right, or are they going to pull their head out of their ass and say, we're
well, you have to look at. I mean, the thing is that this was one of the first elections where there was an extremely large. I forget exactly the proportion now, but there was an extremely large non-white vote. We're coming up to where people of Hispanic descent are going to be outnumbering white people. It's just going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, sorry, it's going to happen. So either get used to it or don't. Not much you can do about it.
It's like that scene in Blazing Saddles, and Kenny would be proud of me for making this one. But we don't want the Irish. All right, we'll take the Irish too. So yeah, and I mean,
so my point is to they will either destroy themselves into irrelevancy, and libertarians or someone like that will come out as an opposition party, or they will seriously turn more to the center.
Mm-hmm.
They will start focusing on, not being so goddamn racist and homophobic, and actually talking about business and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, that is probably not going to happen.
No, because the modern...
Unfortunately or fortunately, okay, let them lose every election from now on.
It's like I keep telling War, I honestly don't understand why he votes Republican, because he knows you cannot separate the social conservatism from the fiscal conservatism anymore, because they've basically forced anyone who is moderate in one respect or the other out of the party.
Right. They're now idle.
Yeah, because you have on one hand you have the Christian right, who will not accept anything but 100% anti-gay, anti-abortion, anti-choice, their issues, or else they get drummed out.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, you have fucking Grover Norquist and his tax pledge, and so if you violate that, then again you're out of the party. So you have candidates who are perfectly both to get past a primary, and that's a recipe for self-destruction. There's nowhere you can go from that.
I'm just hoping that these Republicans who are gay realize who's fighting for them and who isn't. Okay?
You know what's funny is I've known more gay people. I mean, obviously anecdotal, obviously, but of the ones I've met, they tend to skew to the right economically.
That's what
I mean, obviously, it's the one that
But
I've met.
again, you can't separate the fiscal and the social conservatism. It is not allowed. So
I know
anyway,
a dude who so wants to vote Republican, but they don't want him.
you know. So I will say this though, because there's been a lot of winding and tooth gnashing and all this. So I figured we would establish a grievance procedure for our friends on the right. I think that's fair. We're helpers here, right?
Sure.
So
Why not?
here is the grievance procedure for our friends on the right.
Grievance procedures. Make your hand into a hard fist, drawing as far away from your face as possible, then keep your hand in place, quickly and forcefully run toward your hand.
I had to have that clip. I was like, wait, I remember that! I gotta get it! So yeah.
Yeah, I think that would work.
And the sad thing is
Yeah.
they'd probably fall for it too. They'd be like, hey! After they do it a few times. So
Speaking of falling for funny things, there was a guy on YouTube. I don't know if any of you are familiar with him. He does the series called Joe Goes. Well, he went to like a Mitt Romney watching party, and like every time one of the Republicans would walk out, he'd raise his hand and go, "High five for Obama." Some of them actually gave him a high five without listening to the whole thing. And then when they realized what he said, they were like, "Oh God, blah blah blah."
But yeah, we're gonna have more funny reaction from our friends on the right. And we're also going to talk about Willard's. I mean, dear God, was that an arrogant man or what? We dodged a major bullet. And we're going to tell you exactly why when we come right back after this break. This is Mike Check Radio, the all Schadenfreude, all Schadenfreude edition. And we will be right back after this.
Gorgeous dinner, hot springs, table tennis, yukata, geisha, Fujiyama.
Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Oh, wokeness!
Hi, this is Kenny Pick from Turn Up the Night. Here are some of the hijinks you can expect from my show. We just got done listening to several clips about the Romney fundraisers over the weekend, and I invented the murder finger. It's an offspring of the murder fist. It just happens to be the murder fist with the middle finger extended.
Well, I'm ahead of you because I've had a hate finger for many years.
Hate finger.
Hate finger. The man with the malcontent's touch. Yes.
Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick, streaming live every Tuesday and Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern at Radio or Not, Talk Radio 1, Progressive Blend Radio, and KennyPick.com.
You never know who or what you'll hear when you listen to the Nicole Sandler Show at RadioOrNot.com.
Bill Maher, you're here in Miami on Friday night. You're doing a show at the Fillmore at the Jackie Gleason Theater. They just renamed this theater the Fillmore.
Oh.
And they put up a couple of psychedelic posters. So I guess...
Is it the theater Jackie did a TV show from?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
What I hear they did is put up two of those old Bill Graham posters and renamed it.
Yeah, I can't think of two different icons of show business.
Yeah, really.
Bill Graham and Jackie Gleason.
Yeah, why they just didn't play up the Jackie Gleason aspect, I don't know. But then again, this is South Florida.
Right. Okay.
Welcome to it.
I feel warned.
The Nicole Sandler Show, live Monday through Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, or podcast anytime at RadioOrNot.com.
Scuttle on home. This ain't none of your business, Slick.
My name isn't Slick. It's
Hebert. Adam Hebert. This is Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Good evening.
It's a good night. Yeah, not only did Tester take the Senate race or the House race, whatever, don't judge me.
Oh, I'm sorry. We. But I had. Okay, we're gonna. We'll have to just real quick. Joining me is. I apologize to our listeners because I'm stupid. I forgot to open my mic up on the stream. So, John and...
Well done.
Well done, my lad. Well done. So basically, I was just saying, Rob out of Baltimore, John out of Missoula, and John was telling us the results of the races in Missoula, or out of Montana. And like I said, I know Tester won, and he won pretty handily. But did Schweitzer pull it out?
Schweitzer was not up for any kind of election.
Oh, I thought the governor was.
No, the governor race was between Steve Bullock and Rick Hill. Bullock being the Democrat, and he won. So Montana now has another Democratic governor.
So did he choose not to run, or did he hit a term limit?
I believe he hit a term limit.
Okay. So yeah.
And I've been hearing that he may be considering a run for president, but
it's possible. He comes from a red state. He was actually pretty popular, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. Like, he when he would veto like the different bills and stuff that were coming to him from the state, he would burn them with a cattle branding iron.
Classy.
So, yeah, Brian Schweitzer, one classy motherfucker.
Yeah, and not to mention, nice. I believe that aside from marijuana being passed, I believe some states also passed laws amending their constitutions to clearly state that corporations are not people. So I mean, we will.
That was in Montana.
That was I could have sworn there was more. It was more than in Montana. But the fact of the matter is that's bait. They're very smart about this because they knew that if President Obama won, he'd be nominating 2 or 3, maybe even 4 more justices. It's only going to take 2 to tilt the court left.
Yeah.
But he knew.
Let's start praying and hoping and hire some voodoo doctors to put a curse on Antonin Scalia.
Quick, call Doctor Strange. Wait, Doctor Strange is a good guy. He's not going to do curses. But what I'm saying is,
our electoral system or our judicial system's fucked up when it makes you actually hope a guy dies.
And I feel bad.
I don't really want to hope a guy.
But here's
dies.
what I'm saying. So what we're going to see is the corporations are, of course, going to file suit in federal court. And it's going to go up, until it hits the Supreme Court. By the time it hits the Supreme Court, Barack Obama's term will probably be over and he'll have his justices in place, meaning Citizens United goes down in flames. Now that is a good deal. It's going to suck for a while. We're going to have to accept that. But Tuesday, I think, will go down in American history as the day where democracy laced up a pair of steel-toed boots and kicked the Koch brothers right in the balls.
Yeah, I think we can definitely put that down as that. Yeah, big money is not so effective when, you're trying to ram it through.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing I was saying when Citizens United came out is it's a horrible, horrible law, don't get me wrong. But the fact is, you can only go so far in buying people. I mean, you can buy some people, don't get me wrong. But it only goes so far. There's certain people who will hear the message and go, oh, no, still don't like it.
Yeah. Well, and I said...
That was especially true this year because we had the waves upon waves upon waves of negative ads. But, less in the case of, the president, but, especially from the GOP. Especially in the later part of the election, too. Especially that ad about Jeep. The whole fear-mongering part about how Jeep's sending jobs over to China.
Well, Jeep had to come out and say, Romney's full of shit.
Not only Jeep, GM, Chrysler, Fiat. It's like they all came out and said, this guy's full of shit.
So...
Mitt is full of shit.
So, yeah, so shall we continue with the, okay, well, first of all, let's talk about mittens, reversible mittens. Did anyone hear about what he did to his campaign staffers after he lost?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was just... He canceled the campaign credit cards. I believe he did it, I think it was even before he conceded. I think he was like, oh, shit, I'm going down. I'm getting on a lifeboat and getting out of here.
These motherfuckers ain't buying a plane ticket home.
I know.
Actually, I think the line was more along the lines of, well, we won, so I don't want these bastards all buying drinks and shit on my credit cards.
Yeah.
But not only did he do that, did you hear he spent $25,000 on a victory fireworks celebration to honor his... What an arrogant...
He should have set it off anyway.
What an arrogant...
Because he had it, why not? What's he going to do, sell it back?
Actually, yes, they took them back. They inspect them, they make sure they can still... But here's the thing. How arrogant is it? Now, President Obama, his staff was saying, we think we should put together a fireworks celebration when you win. And remember, 2008, it was pretty much guaranteed Obama was going to win. We could have run a slime mold and beat John McCain. And Barack Obama said, no, it wouldn't be right. This isn't about me. This is about America. For Mitt Romney, this was all about him. Me, look at me. I'm the king of the world.
King of the castle.
I think it would have been brilliant for him to just go ahead and just set it off. Do his concession speech, then set off the fireworks. because it would confuse the shit out of everybody. It would be hilarious. He'd troll America.
But, I mean, what does that tell you about this guy? It tells me that if he'd won the presidency, he would have been trying to get his face on Mount Rushmore. I'm telling you, he would not have had any...
I don't even think that he would have given that much of a shit once he was in, to be honest. I think he wanted to unlock the achievement.
Yeah, he wanted the job. He didn't want to do the job.
He wanted to up his gamer score.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, well, I'm filthy fuck rich. I don't have to do anything. I pretty much have whatever I want. What next?
It was about
his... Can't get drunk.
It was about his...
It's like he's like playing World of Warcraft and he's paying the top guild to get his title for a heroic 10-man achievement.
With Super PACs, Romney was just trying to buy himself a level capped character.
Yeah.
He was trying to... He didn't want to earn it.
Yeah.
He wanted to buy it.
Like I said...
He just wanted the title.
It was about his electoral penis being bigger than his father's. What is it with these Republicans and their daddy issues? I mean, geez, get a therapist! Stop using the electoral process to work out your problems with your dad!
Yeah, that didn't end well for us last time.
Had issues with his dad.
Actually, he did. His father was a very famous and prominent admiral in the Navy.
In the Navy.
So let's talk about the. The thing is I don't know what to save. What to save for when Danielle and Shane get here. Oh, did I mention that?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Or at least you said it to us. I'm not sure if you said it to everyone else.
Just in case, Danielle and Shana of Talking Left will be joining us for the next hour. And so let's do some more Schadenfreude, shall we?
Hey, on Schadenfreude, there's something I'd like to bring up that I was just looking at.
Sure.
Because I was looking at my local election results, just refreshing my looking over them, and what you see if you go to your local news sources is a lot of strange little ballot measures. Like, I'm in the Deep South, so I was just counting.
Should I break out my dueling banjos, or are we cool?
We're cool, man.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, I'm counting. There were 8 counties in my area. These are big counties. These are in Tennessee and North Georgia. That almost all of them, by a huge margin, voted to legalize liquor by the drink and booze on Sunday.
Wait, what do you mean by liquor by the drink? I mean
that means that you can go to a bar and buy liquor, not just beer, but you can get a shot of whiskey at a bar or a restaurant.
Okay. Basically,
it legalizes bars. Yeah. We still haven't legalized bars in some parts of the fucking South.
So wait, bars are illegal in Chattanooga?
Not in Chattanooga, no. They've been fine in Chattanooga for a long time.
Okay.
But, good lord, I've shot myself in the head by now.
I'm sorry.
But, no. But yeah, in places where you don't have liquor by the drink, you can only go to a designated liquor store. And it's usually only on certain days of the week and at certain hours. It's a heavily regulated industry. So, for example, I'm seeing on my feed right here, I can looking at right now, to Ringgold and Catoosa County, both allowed package sales on Sunday, which means bars still can't be open on Sunday, but you can go to a liquor store and buy some booze.
Oh, I almost knocked my mic over. I'm sorry.
Which blue laws? Okay, it's religion and politics.
I think
bullshit.
I think blue laws are patently unconstitutional because it's all about Christianity.
It's about.
Don't want.
How do you defend to me? Please defend to me. That you can't buy beer on Sunday in some places.
So yeah,
on Sunday of all day.
But how much do you want to bet that as she watched the election results, Dana Loesch was going all?
It's like, you had to bring that up, didn't you?
I owe that.
Trying to rape us in the ear.
I owe that bitch. She said no one listens. We have a healthy audience tonight of 6
Why don't you two just start making out and
she's married, Wes. Plus she's evil. She's evil.
Just
that makes it even better.
Goalie doesn't mean he can't score.
Look at Bill Maher and Ann Coulter. I'm sorry. I know they've both said it's not happening, but look at them.
You know, that's. I mean, if I were Bill Maher, I would be like every time she was on the show, just reaching over, you know, doing the choke motion, just like. So anyway, we're coming up at the top of the.
Have you never had good angry sex?
No.
You know what? Let's not get into this right.
Yes, let's save that for the after show. But let's do this now. Here is some reaction to the loss of the election.
Votes for 2014.
Lots on the horizon. So, Dana, what should be the message coming out of this for the White House in terms of how they communicate?
Dana Perino, by the way, who was the Bush secretary, press secretary.
To the American people, because when you look at the popular vote, it wasn't such a resounding victory.
Well, I'm glad I got that question. Would you think less of me if I cried just a little?
Did you?
No, I actually did not. Friday night, Friday night, I felt so strongly. I was like just bursting with emotion because following Gallup, following Rasmussen, and going on gut, and I was completely wrong. I want to congratulate President Obama. I thought last night when you had the picture of Michelle Obama and then the two girls, Sasha and Malia, who have grown into lovely young women, out of the public eye. Much credit to the press and to the parents and to Michelle Obama's mother who has done that. And so, coming out of it, all right, so where does President Obama go from here? A lot of things are said in every election. I think that whereas Mitt Romney's speech was, as Bob said, so gracious last night, President Obama's left me a little flat, though I think everybody can feel that emotion with all of the applauding.
Yeah, so...
yeah.
They're not taking it well at all. But so, Wes, you had something you wanted to say about the weed laws, and I figure we'd probably do it while we didn't have... You know, not in polite company, if you understand what I mean.
Okay. Because there's a point that was actually made first by Bill Maher, but I want to elaborate on it, because it was the show last night, is every time the fucking news shows covered the weed referendums, every time, all the anchors had to just distance themselves. You know, they'd hear, like, they had one caller who they were hearing, you know, over the radio, you know, and they were like, oh, what's that? I believe that's called a water pipe. I wouldn't know. So, all of you people have been through college. All of you people have been in your 20s. I guarantee at least 2/3 of you have smoked pot at some point. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, you should have seen Jon Stewart on Thursday's night show. They had a thing about how basically when the corporate media would, you know, talk about it, they would basically make, you know, joke references and stuff like that to it too.
Yeah, like there was nothing serious at all about the issue. Which, let's talk about the drug war a bit, shall we?
Yeah,
let's talk about the cost of it being illegal.
Billions upon billions upon billions upon billions of dollars a year.
Not to mention the civil rights of a large number of people. Because remember, if you're convicted of a felony, you lose your right to vote. Now, felony marijuana, that's generally more than an ounce on you. Otherwise, it's a misdemeanor. But an ounce isn't an entirely unbelievable amount to be carrying home from a dealer if you're, you know, having a party or something.
Oops.
It's not impossible to not be dealing and have more than that. And that means you lose your fucking vote.
Yep.
That's a problem.
It also means that if you're in college, you lose your financial aid.
Yeah. And you lose your right to own a gun.
Well, there are some people who shouldn't own a gun. Thankfully, though,
certainly,
the most badass co-host in Liberal Talk Radio is not one of those.
I like to use my power judiciously.
I'm sorry?
I like to use the power judiciously. You know, the people who should own guns are the ones who don't want to shoot somebody.
Right. Yeah. I get what you're saying.
But
Except for Bambi.
Fuck Bambi.
No!
Bambi tastes good.
I actually don't hunt either. I shoot targets and that's it.
And like I said, I have no problem with individuals owning guns. It's my problem begins when they sit here and they say, "I have a constitutional right to a thermonuclear device." Then I'm like,
funny story. I have a friend on one of my gun forums who lives in Sweden. And he's been trying to get himself approved for a 50 caliber rifle to hunt moose with. He actually has a practical use for it. Because moose are fucking huge.
Yeah,
a 50 caliber rifle is about right for hunting moose. And he's gone through so many hoops to get this, rifle he has a good purpose for. He, as a joke, put in another application to own a thermonuclear device, and it got approved very quickly.
What?
So I know a person in Sweden who is legally approved to own a thermonuclear weapon.
What the fuck? What the fuck, Sweden?
Sweden?
Those must be some pretty big moose.
Yeah, man, hunter moose. It's like those continental moose. They're the size of Russia, and you just gotta nuke them.
Yeah, obviously. I mean,
you can't eat the meat that's from like near the wound because it's kind of irradiated.
If you're lucky, it's just irradiated. Yeah, that's an interesting story. Thanks, Wes.
Happy to oblige.
If you get bitten by one of the radioactive moose, you get moose powers like Spider-Man.
What?
So, like, Moose Man would be like, he could, like, charge at things and graze. I have the powers of charging and grazing.
My moose senses tingling.
There must be some grass nearby.
I don't know. I don't think moose powers would be useful at all.
I mean, like, he could grow, like, antlers. I mean, that'd be kind of cool.
He could charge through walls and stuff. He could be like, oh, there's a bank robbery going on the other side of this brick wall. Better charge it.
I'm the Moose Man.
X3 joke. They're very good, John. Very good. So anyway, we should get going to break because our guests are waiting. One of them is actually in the on casa right now. So, and if you are watching, you can see I'm grinning like a jackass because that was just so funny. He can't get a rifle, but he can get a nuclear weapon. And I thought we had problems. Am I right? Am I right?
Yes.
No, you're not right, Adam.
No, Adam.
I'm very disappointed.
No, I'll have to spank myself.
Try to bring you down a little bit still.
I'll have to spank myself during the break. But anyway, we are going to go to break, and our music for this break is going to be another Hairwolf piece called Role Playing Master. I personally really like this piece. So, we will be back shortly after this break, hopefully with Danielle and Shino of Talking Left. Woo!
I'm glad this argument is being conducted on a mature adult level.
This is Adam Hebert on Mic Check Radio.
Okay, and I'm rolling for damage.
Welcome to the labyrinth of the world. It's a land of three letters, A, D, and D. Filling out your character sheet. You're keeping track of HPs and XPs. He's a role-playing master, the polyhedron caster. He's gonna kill you with his style. He's a role-playing master, the magic missile blaster. His armor glass is minus 9. shall be caught. Without a shield by clerics rot, must stand and fight the hounds of hell, or wander deep in dungeons fell. Now roll, play master, the Polyhedron Cancer, he's gonna kill you with his giant. He's a role-playing master, for magic little blaster, he's all my magic minus. He's a role-playing master, for Polyhedron Cancer, he's gonna kill you with his giant. He's a role-playing master, for magic little blaster, he's all my magic minus. It's your turn. I didn't even tell you what's in the room yet. Hold on a second.
Goodbye, Gary.
It's the HowdyLand.com News Bulletin with Stan Douglas. Go to HowdyLand.com and click on the Funny Times special offer to receive your free sample issue today.
As everyone knows, Tuesday's election results produced many unexpected outcomes. Yet one thing stood out in stark contrast to all other elements leading up to the final tabulation. What has come to be called the new mandate. Howdyland political correspondent Cece Whistler has more.
Stan, as most Americans know, things haven't gone well here in America since September of 2001, when I was a happy 10-year-old girl in Hazelhurst, Wisconsin. Not long after September 11th, my mom, Virginia Whistler, was killed in a blending accident, leaving Dad and me to fend for ourselves. Dad, who you know as Chip Whistler, didn't make much money as a birdcage welder, so
Cece, just tell us who won the election, okay?
I don't know yet, Stan. My smartphone died.
Thanks, Cece. We'll talk to you soon. Steve.
This HowdyLand.com news bullet is your vital link to the major stories happening to you and around you, whether you know anything or not. I'm Steve.
If you want talk, go to the other guys. If you want conversation, go to Ray Medeiros at usaprogressive.com.
The American people need to hold the Republican Party accountable. They're not willing to raise taxes on millionaires and billionaires in order to pay for American infrastructure, put Americans back to work, and educate American children. Yet they're willing to add to the national debt in order to go into another war, this time against Iran.
usaprogressive.com. The conversation starts here.
Sir, the radar, sir. It appears to be jammed. Jammed. Raspberry. There's only one man who would dare give me the raspberry.
Adam Hebert on Mike Check Radio.
Better turn on my mic. Oops. Yes, I am the only person who would dare give Dark Helmet the raspberry. So, yeah. Anywho, we are back. That first hour just zoomed along. That's the power of Schadenfreude, right?
Indeed.
If they could just bottle that'd be like a perfect Bleach alternative.
Actually, there is such a thing. In case you didn't see the meme. The Tears of Impotent Rage.
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you for a bottle so we could toast to our president. But let's get...
I'm actually about laying down a batch of beer that I'm brewing. And I think those are two good names. Tears of Impotent Rage and Schadenfreude.
At least, I don't drink, but can I at least have a bottle to put on my wall? You know?
No, you can drink it.
You're gonna make me drink?
And I'm gonna make you enjoy it, hopefully.
Well, okay. I guess I will. I guess it can hurt. And I believe we are joined now by Shano and Danielle of Talking Left, now on Sundays, and I believe We Act Radio. Are you two there?
We are here.
Hey, Adam. Hello, Shane. Hello, Danielle. And congratulations on the growth, I guess you could say. I mean, that is huge.
We are very, very excited, and it definitely owe big thanks to people like you and Vic and Nicole Sandler and, Ken and just everybody for being there for us for so long, and that's what helped make it possible.
Well, like I said, I'm
I
very
have to
happy.
say that
And
the
of course,
phrase,
Jacob.
the phrase "congratulations on the growth" is not one that you hear very often.
Unless you're talking to Rush
Speak for
Limbaugh.
yourself.
and I apologize. And I apologize. I just want to say that the last time you were here, Wes was out, and that gentleman you just heard is my co-host, Wes Karskanen, who we believe is the most badass co-host in Liberal Talk Radio. We're still waiting on to make it official, but that's Wes.
It is very nice to meet you, Wes.
And you're also on with John Kendall out of Missoula, Montana, at my old stomping grounds, the University of Montana.
Hey, John.
Hello.
And Rob Poole out of Baltimore, Maryland. Excuse me.
Wow.
Wow, it's a party.
We're
We're all over the map.
We're lousy.
Ain't no party like a mic check party. Oh, Rap
Hey.
Jinx.
We know how that goes. Remember, we used to broadcast from Florida and New York with Shane on one side of the country and me on the other.
Oh yeah, those were the days. Insert the sound effect. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't know what they call that. The back in my yes, thank you. But yeah, so that's just you guys are. How is We Act Radio still just one station, or are they on other stations?
Well, We Act Radio is a station itself. It's in Anacostia, DC area. It's it's a physical station. A lot of shows from Anacostia are syndicated on other stations like Take Action News with David Schuster, which is on all over the country, Oklahoma, Chicago, Detroit. I'm forgetting Lansing,
Oklahoma. Yeah, and well, the thing is, We Act Radio is what they call themselves, but they're 1480 AM on the dial in DC.
Okay. Well, see,
So
I just wasn't
they're just,
sure how it worked because I know David Schuster's on WCBT. Go Chicago. And I know that some of their shows are, so I don't know if it's like an organization and that, originating from that station or, like I said.
A lot of the shows originate from there. A lot of them are done throughout the country, and We Act is their home station, so to speak. But there's a lot of great shows on the program, on the station.
So they're an affiliate and a syndicator.
Yes.
Right. Like I
At
said,
the same time.
I'm still learning, but I kind of had the, like I said, I knew David Schuster wasn't just on in DC, that, he was on elsewhere, but, like I said, I don't know how radio exactly works. All I have is secondhand information and listening to stuff like Stephanie Miller and what you guys tell me when we talk. So, I'm...
All of our information is third hand, so you're technically getting it like fourth or fifth.
Yeah, I'm kind of... But, so, how about their election Tuesday night?
That didn't suck.
And I was completely wrong. I thought it was going to turn out much differently, and I was pleasantly surprised.
Well, so you were expecting a loss or just not that big of a margin? I'm curious.
I didn't actually say my prediction on air, but I made it well known to everybody because I didn't want to be a downer. I thought that if there was an actual free, open, fair election, that Obama would win running away. My worry was that it wasn't going to be free, fair, and open, and it wasn't. It was just free, fair, and open enough that they couldn't steal it.
Yeah, you still have to have a pretty close margin to make a steal.
Yeah.
I thought they were getting better at it after what happened with Scott Walker up in Wisconsin. I was concerned that their techniques were getting more well honed.
Yeah. People saying coin the term, I'm not sure, but I definitely heard it from him first. It was within the margin of theft.
I've never heard that.
It was definitely close. Definitely. I think this might be the year that we finally get to see some action on election reform, especially considering what happened in Florida.
Yeah, I'm just concerned by who's going to initiate the election reform because you have, Husted or Husted in Ohio wanting to essentially change the way the Electoral College functions, and
a lot of states, and that's done individually. And then on top of it, you have the Supreme Court now weighing in, and they're going to try to roll back the one federal control there is in terms of how states do their elections, meaning the Voting Rights Act. So if that is rolled back, then it's every state for themselves.
Well, I'm
yeah, that's scary.
Shane, since you've been in law school, I mean, what is Anthony Kennedy's record on civil rights in the realm of civil rights? Because he's going to be the swing vote no matter what, right?
Well, Anthony Kennedy's is quite good. Well, I shouldn't say quite good. It's not bad. The concern is that when these civil rights acts, these types of things, whether it be affirmative action or the Civil Rights Act, have gone through before the Supreme Court within the last decade, 2 decades or so, and this is really I'm doing this based on memory the best I can. Certainly in affirmative action, you had a 5-4 decision where Sandra Day O'Connor was the deciding vote. Sandra Day O'Connor, of course, has been replaced with Samuel Alito. So there is cause for concern. And I think we'll find that with the Voting Rights Act, it's going to be a very similar argument as the affirmative action ruling down in Texas, which, the ruling hasn't come down, but the arguments have occurred. And a lot of it focused on the fact, that many of the justices say, there's no need for it anymore. Everything's just fine, nothing to see here. There is no more institutional racism, or at least enough for us to be telling universities what to do. I can imagine that the conservative justices will be arguing the same thing. Well, we have an African-American president, so therefore there must be no more institutional racism. There's no need for the federal government to oversee these states. There's no more discrimination done.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that it's not just, over, I mean, of course, it's the Voting Rights Act, but I'm just saying that it's a lot more subtle now. It's not just about, only whites only water fountains. It's about how many voting machines a certain precinct has, and stuff like that. And
let's not forget the drug war.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a very interesting discussion on election day with a coworker of mine who is who's a black woman who lives in a very poor neighborhood, and we were talking about voting because we both voted before work that day, and she had to deal with a long line and just 10 kinds of go to this line, now go to this line, now go to this line. I was pretty much in and out.
Mm-hmm.
And just comparing those two, they make it harder in every little possible way. They make it harder.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's specifically harder in the poorer neighborhoods, the neighborhoods that tend to have higher, black and Hispanic population. Those are the people they don't want to vote, and that it's not just race anymore, though. It's socioeconomic, because in that gentrification where they spruce up an area so all of the people who are currently living there can no longer afford to, which tends to be a large population of blacks, Hispanics, and poor working white people. Those are the people they don't want to vote. It's while race is still very, very much a factor, it's still very prevalent, and a lot of the policies are just geared to try and keep black people from the polls. It's now, they don't want us poor white working folks there any more than they want, black people, Hispanic people, or elderly people.
Oh, no, they want it to be rich, male, white landowners again.
Yep.
Because that was sure nice for the rich, white, male landowners.
Well,
that's so great for the rest of us.
And that's very true. Steve Forbes even said that within the last 4 or 5 years that he called it skin in the game, but pretty much he felt the only people that should be able to vote are people who have, quote, skin in the game, and therefore property owners.
Mm-hmm.
He thought it should only be property owners.
Well, so I can't vote because I live in an apartment. That's bullshit.
I can't vote because I live in a dorm.
Right?
Well, that's for sure.
Students can't vote, then left's fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty much.
I just should inform you two that we are not an FCC, so you seem kind of startled.
We sussed that out.
Yeah, we noticed that a little bit while we
seem
we
kind
used
of
to be. We used to be totally FCC free, but we had to be better.
Right.
Well, not better at not cursing.
Right.
Hey,
you guys have always
give us a better deal. I'll turn down the cursing.
he'll turn it down from 11 to 6 or something.
Just get it done.
I'm just gonna watch the TV guidelines and be like, okay, you can say ass after this hour, and you can say shit after this hour.
Exactly.
Adam, why do you want the midnight hour? Trust me, that's why I want it.
I'm a night
midnight,
owl.
you can
so-
say motherfucker.
Just get a bleep button. And
I'm quite sure you can say shit
yes.
after 11 p.m.
I didn't know that there was like a
It's changed a
stratification.
lot.
I didn't know there was a stratification based on time. I remember Mark Maron used to do Dick of the Day. I remember that, and that always struck me as weird. But
The thing is, that
The
there's
rules are very arcane and draconian.
they're vague. They're incredibly vague because they don't say you can say X. You can't say this word. You can say that word. Or you can say this word at this time. You can't say it at that time. It's all goes down to this very vague community standards. Whatever the sense of the community is. So you at any time, if you say something that's crazy enough and put certain words together, if you get enough complaints, the FCC will look at it. And then there'll be times where things get through and you don't hear a complaint, and you never hear about it. And there was actually a recent Supreme Court case when it came to the Super Bowl thing that if there is some kind of expletive blurted out that wasn't planned and it was, just happened, that a lot of times that's not going to even be finable.
right, so like if I were to just spill the soda I just poured on my lap and say, "Oh, son of a bitch," that wouldn't count. That wouldn't be finable because it wasn't planned.
Perhaps.
Yeah, it was just a reaction. But
If you think of those pair
There's
of mics during football games, and they have one honed on the coach who's really pissed off, and an F-bomb drops through, no one's going to get fined over things like that.
Yeah. 'Cause nobody can read what his lips are saying anyhow.
But yeah, well, that's
I
for,
highly recommend the movie. This film is not yet rated, which is about movies, but the same idea and a lot of the same practices are used for deciding what is okay and what is not.
I haven't been to a movie since Birdemic. Ugh.
This one was not in a theater for sure. It's a documentary about how films are rated. It's very interesting.
Well, like I said, I mean, I try to tone it down, but I don't say anyone. You can't say the F word on this show. I try to be,
Well, as well, that's how it should be. I mean, that's the beauty of independent internet-based radio, which I think is where the industry as a whole is bound to be moving, especially as, the right continues to buy up radio stations throughout the country. People are going to still want progressive news. They're still going to want fun, interactive shows like yours that have a chat room and that people can be involved in. And, it's the logical place for radio to end up. And what is the FCC going to do about it then?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we just had, what was it, KPOJ? I might be getting the call letters wrong. But the one in Portland just flipped. And Portland is one of the most liberal cities, if not the most liberal city in America. Are they seriously going to try and say there's no market for liberal talk in Portland, Oregon? I don't think so.
They don't care that it's not about market. I mean, they did the same thing when I was living in Fort Lauderdale, which is one of the most progressive areas in South Florida. Mm-hmm. And I was telling Shane about this the other day. They did it on April 1st. So everybody thinking that they're announcing it was a joke. We all thought it was an April Fool's joke that the progressive station down there was going to be flipping to Fox Sports. And then sure enough, we woke up April 1st, and what did we have? The 5th sports channel in South Florida on AM when you already have an FM station. So, I mean, it's not about ratings. It's not about money. It's controlling the masses.
Mm-hmm.
And what's more infuriating the fact that it's not about ratings, that then you have the right radio saying, there's not even enough ratings to support progressive radio because they keep throwing it off the air, based on that false assumption that programming choices are based on ratings. And it is based on some financial, because they've changed the radio model. I'm not going to name out specific shows, but there are shows that actually pay to be on the air. And I may be wrong about this, but I think it's been that what happens with Fox Sports is they actually share their revenues from their national with the local stations if they can't sell their own local. So there is a financial motive to that isn't based on ratings. It's based on essentially a station paying you to use your airtime.
Hey, there's a word for that. There's a word for that. It's called socialism.
Dun dun dun.
Or payola.
Yeah.
I was
that too.
gonna say.
But no,
$1 bills, y'all.
That's one thing that drives me nuts is we're always told, nobody wants to hear liberal talk. And, you get a liberal station in Florida replaced with a sports station. This is the one that Stephanie Miller always talks about, right? The one with the 0 rating? Or is that a different one?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's exactly it. They had a 4 share in the market, which is huge. They had huge ratings there when it was a progressive station. It was one of the highest rated stations in the area, and they replaced it with a sports channel, which, because they already have 4 other sports channels, and because people were just pissed off about it, they have no ratings. Not to mention that if you're gonna watch sports, how many people listen to sports as opposed to watch sports on TV?
Yeah, I remember, my grandpa would listen to baseball games on the radio when I was like 5 back in 1980 something. But that's the latest I remember.
Well, and the thing is, it's because, do you really think that the people who own Madison Avenue and who own the advertising industry, you think they don't know how powerful little media is? I mean, and they don't want anybody who doesn't already have establishment to get into it.
Yeah,
because then some ideas might get out there. People might start thinking.
Well, the thing is that advertisers and Madison Avenue, their market share itself could be stripped away, just like when the musical album went away. If you divide that up and you have upstarts here and there who are doing their own ads, doing their own ad campaigns for smaller products and smaller venues, but being more direct about it, you can actually just go right around Madison Avenue.
You mean like the Sexy Liberal show that had no label? They just promoted it directly, and #1 comedy album for a time on, I'm trying to remember, Billboard, Amazon, and iTunes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, and you also have stations like We Act, like WVKO in Columbus, that are going to pop up as people. It's not just about the progressive radio outlet, which is very important, and people will fight for it. But it's also, they're creating an open spot in the market that is automatically going to have an audience. If in one of these areas that they don't have a progressive station, if you can get a little AM signal like We Act is doing, or like WVKO started with, you automatically have an audience. And if you can just sustain it long enough to get advertisers in there, you've given them the option for a niche market. And those advertisers, those listeners, that audience is going to be amazingly loyal. They're not going to go anywhere. And as long as somebody's not going to sell out to Fox Sports, then you're guaranteeing them a gold mine. So, hey, it's going to help those who have the ability to find those little stations, those little AM signals that nobody else wants, and start up somewhere, and they're going to have a following. But
it's the conglomeration and the ownership of so many stations by so few mega corporations who have no problem selling out to Fox Sports.
Right.
That is the real core issue. That if you have 2, 3 companies out there, they need to really be broken up and for the sake of the fact that these are public airwaves.
Yeah.
Public airwaves.
Yeah, but then you also have stuff happen like what was that station in Florida where the was it the the Knights of Columbus basically barged in, changed locks, and kicked everyone else out? Was that the Nova M, or am I thinking of something else?
I think that was Nova.
Yeah,
I think so. But that was the one. I'm not sure. I'm going off of memory, but I think you're right, because that was the one Randy was associated with, and she railed about that on the air, if I remember correctly.
I mean, they just barged in and basically said, "King me," It's someone. I remember hearing someone say, you don't just barge in on a game of chess and yell "King," "King me," and that's basically what they did. And I just how can anyone honor that? It's like, no.
Adam?
Yes?
To correct you, checkers is where you get king.
Right, I was saying you don't barge in on a game of chess and say "King me" like you're playing checkers. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
I know the difference between chess and checkers, darn it. I'm not good at either of them, but I know the difference. So, But yeah, I suppose I should have said thank you a long time ago for agreeing to join us for the hour. I appreciate it. And like I said, I'm just, so happy for you both, because I mean that's a huge chance. And do you guys have any information about how well Talking Left is doing on WeAct, or is it too early?
Well, it's definitely too soon to know for that, but I will say that we've seen, our online avenues, the downloads of shows and YouTube videos finally, start to pick up. So obviously somebody over there is hearing us, and also thank you very much for having us on, Adam. We appreciate you.
Well, like I said, I figured it couldn't hurt to at least ask, because this is big. I mean, at least two people, who have been doing independent liberal talk are now on, at least one station. And that, to me, is like, wow.
Hey, you start somewhere, I mean, look how long, you guys know how long we did the internet show for, 3 years, Shane?
Mm-hmm. But then if you want a real huge success story, and you know this, Adam, very well, Kenny Picks Turn Up the Night did it for years. Worked so incredibly hard, and now the fruits of his labor and his co-hosts are really paying off with WVKO. I mean, just amazingly positive. So sky's the limit. And the thing is that there are shows that have been on the internet, will stay on the internet, want to be on the internet, and I think that is really where, in fact, it was David Bender we had on the first time we were actually on the dial. And his comment was, "Well, thanks. Well, welcome to the 20th century," because it really is. We're in trying to get on the radio dial. We're actually kind of looking backwards in terms of where the future of broadcasting is, and the future of broadcasting is where we are sitting right now, each and every one of us, right at this moment.
Yep,
that's a very good point. I mean, the internet has revolutionized so many forms of communication. We're still starting to see new results every day,
and it's very inexpensive. I mean, I think my biggest expense was my microphone, because my internet connection is covered by the school, as long as I don't do anything stupid like pirate. I have free internet, so
I'm literally doing this for free. Like, Adam asked me to come on. I was like, okay, I have a USB microphone from my copy of Rapstar, and I have a copy of Skype. Okay. Yeah, I can make this work. Bust old headphones.
And for other people out there listening, that's really all it takes, because I don't know if you've seen this, Adam. Fans FM. Have you checked that out at all?
No, I haven't heard of it, but I will look it up during the break, just out of curiosity.
It's very, very, very cool. Actually, it was Victor who I don't know if he direct messaged or tweeted something about it, and I took a look at it. It's amazing software this guy has produced.
Yep. You can have a call-in number. You can have a free, call-in number for people to call in.
That's very interesting.
Really slick.
I'll have to check that out, because we've been talking about trying to find a way to implement a call-in number, but I just didn't want to have like a Skype number so anyone can call. I want to be able to kind of narrow the stream, just because. So thank you very much for that tip. I will check it out. And but yeah, I don't know if it's just the energy from winning or what, but this week in the show, you guys know what I'm talking about when I say when you have a good show, it's over before, it's like a blur. And when you have a bad show, it just drags on in slow motion.
Yeah.
And that was,
Actually, I remember back, and I'm trying to think. Oh, I know what it was. It was Chris Hayes. I was listening to, actually, this was John Fugelsang was filling in for Stephanie Miller, and he had Chris Hayes on. This was just as Up with Chris Hayes, I believe, was starting. And it was Chris Hayes who said, and I'm sure it wasn't the first time it's been said, but he said it better than I'd heard before, and I won't be able to repeat it exactly. He had done his dress rehearsal for Up with Chris Hayes, and he said it flew by, and he said the producer or somebody else told him, he said, if it flies by for you, then it's flying by for your audience, and that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, our first, it was touch and go for a while there, I'll admit, because I'm the sort of person I'm easily flustered, but, like I said, last week we did, we were just, getting ready for the election, and I was just like, we were just, that last push, and all of a sudden it's 9 o'clock here. I was like, is that right? Are we done?
That's great.
Yeah,
yeah, and like, I was the same way. Like, I sat down here in front of my computer at 5, and then like, all of a sudden it's like 9:30, and I'm like, wait a second.
It's like, great.
Yeah.
It's like, great Scott. So, anyhow, we should probably take a break. Victor, if you could please get me a link to that, because I did a search and I can't find it. So,
it's actually, the website is fans.fm.
Oh, okay then. I'll check that out during the break, and we will be back. And again, thank you to Shane and Danielle for agreeing to join us for the hour, because, you guys are really busy. So thank you for, being able to help out.
Adam,
And-
we were very happy you invited us.
Well,
Yeah, incredibly so. This is fun.
Well, thank you. I'm glad it's fun for you. And like I said, we'll be back after this short break, and for some more post-election dissection, I guess we could say. But anyway, we will be right back on Mike Check Radio with Danielle and Shano from Talking Left, Wes Garskadden out of Chattanooga, Rob Poole, and John Kendall.
I have an army. We have Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Oh, no, that's not it.
Hi, this is Kenny Pick from Turn Up the Night. Here are some of the hijinks you can expect from my show.
That right-wing Republican from Texas was only helping Dennis because he thought Dennis would be easier for Joe the plumber to beat than
Wow.
Ken.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, a pet rock would have been better candidate than Joe the plumber. I think he might actually have been a pet rock before he was a non-plumber. So, but he was a union pet rock, never mind. Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick, streaming live every Tuesday and Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern at Radio or Not, Talk Radio 1, Progressive Blend Radio, and KennyPick.com.
Smarter than Savage and sexier than Limbaugh. This is Adam Hebert on Mic Check Radio.
And we are back with Shane and Danielle of Talking Left out of Washington, D.C.
Yes, we're here.
Okay, good. I was afraid. And Rob Poole in Baltimore, Wes Garskan, Chattanooga, and John Kendall way out west in the Netherlands of Montana. So, I actually keep forgetting to ask, do you guys have any new promos ready yet? Because I have nothing in my in my folder.
No.
We do promos for so many different, and then we always forget to do some for our own show.
It's
yes,
no big
and
deal.
Victor
It's
was
just-
asking.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, and Victor was asking me about. We are kind of creating a list of other shows, Adam, on our site, and we need to include yours as well. But
that's fine.
It has not been finished. There's 2 up there, so that's my fault. There's 2.
And the thing is, it's funny around the house. I'll say, "Oh, we have to do this," and Danielle turns to me and goes, "Yeah, in all your spare time."
Yeah.
So
Well, no, it's just I feel bad because I have nothing in my folder for you. So,
that's our fault. Don't feel bad at all. That I feel bad, and I'm sorry.
well, I just keep forgetting to at least mention it because basically what I've done is I've rigged it so my breaks are more or less randomly generated, and it's set up to where it won't play the same thing more than once in a 3-hour period, and so
how'd you do that? You totally have to teach me that.
Well, I use 2 different programs for my breaks and for my clips. I use Sam Broadcaster, but for my box, for my sound effects, I use Soundbite, which Rob was.
We have all the software.
Rob was generous enough to donate a copy of Soundbite, so now I've got hotkeys, so I can do, This is my new audio crack.
Cowardly little biatch.
I was listening to that because I'm not a morning person. I get up on time for classes if I'm lucky, and so I was listening to that on a podcast on my iPod. I was like, damn it, I need to write this down. I need to write down the time so I can, because I was like, I gotta have that. John Fugelsang saying that just struck me as so hysterically funny. So that's it, because I usually have Soundbite open, and then during breaks I switch to Sam Broadcaster. It's and for Sam you just have to there's an event. I can send you an email if you like, Shane. I mean, I can
That'd be great.
Show you how
And I will return a promo for you. Actually, we need some promos from you.
Oh
to run
yeah,
our
yes.
breaks.
That's
Please.
fine. I will be more than happy to. In fact, that might give me incentive to polish the ones I've done, because so far I think the only one I've done is one featuring Wes, actually, where we were talking about the Supreme Court when John Roberts sided with the liberals on Obamacare, and I said they're suffering from road rage. And Wes comes forward and says, that sounds like a great name for Supreme Court themed porno. So it was like, that's a promo. And he just
road rage. I love it.
And he goes, he's like, if they make this promo, he says, if they make this, they have to have Jenna Jameson as Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh. Road rage also sounds like a great metal band.
Now
It's true,
Now that
yeah.
you mention it, it does. So now, just out of curiosity, because you guys are like me, you marinate in politics. We don't just soak or bathe. We kind of marinate in it.
Oh yeah.
Was there any highlights from the right wing reaction this week?
Karl Rove having a verbal aneurysm on air, and Megyn Kelly stalking the decision desk. A lot of people on the left don't watch Fox. We watch because you have to know your opposition.
Yeah, yeah.
But
we played that.
Watching that in real time was just jaw-droppingly insane.
Right.
Yeah, I actually missed. We were flipping between Fox and the other channels, at my party I was at, and I wish I had caught that part because I saw it later on the Daily Show. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's
she,
also
she literally stalked those people.
Yeah. Well, but we did play it earlier. But here is something from the next day involving Karl Rove, where he's basically he's talking to Megyn Kelly again, and it's like, does this lady ever sleep? Because I was up until 3:30.
I'm surprised she didn't file a restraining order.
But so here's Karl. Tell me this isn't the pot calling the kettle black.
Republicans lost in this election because of two things. One is that the Obama campaign was very effective in keeping roughly 92% of the people who voted for President Obama before to vote for him again. But they didn't do a good job of growing the electorate. I repeat, they got 9 million votes fewer. Their margin shrunk by 6 million, and they cut their winning percentage by over Romney by about 2/3 from what it was over John McCain. And both parties have challenges. The Democrats, the only group that they got more votes this time around than they got 4 years ago, were among Latinos. About 700,000 more Latinos voted Democratic this year than before. But the president has he succeeded by suppressing the vote, by saying to people.
Now, like I said, pot calling the kettle black, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What they realized is that their voter suppression also happens to Republicans.
Yep.
And
they're great at getting people to vote against their own best interest. I mean, we all know that person who makes equal or less than we do,
and is a member of a union.
Right. That swears by Republican values. That Shane and I like to talk about it in that they constantly think they're going to win the lottery. And so they want to preserve all those tax cuts for the rich in hopes that one day they'll be in that category too. And they don't realize that the very policies that they're voting in support of are the reasons why they will never get to that income bracket.
Yep.
You just described my father. Exactly.
I think that's a lot of people's father.
Yeah. I mean, he gets all of his information from Fox and to a small lesser extent to CNN.
Are we brothers separated at birth or something? Because that's my dad too. I've told you before, Danielle, my dad's retired military, and he's always watching Fox, and it got to the point over the summer, because over the summer I was staying with them because my mom was out of town, taking care of a sick relative, so my dad would go to work during the day, and I would be home doing, taking care of the dog, making food, stuff like that, and when we would go out to get, to buy groceries and stuff, he'd be listening to Right Wing talk, and I'm the sort of person that if I hear a lie, I can't let it go. He finally got to the point where he's like, no, from now on you're going to give me a list of what you need and I'll get it. It's like, whatever.
Nice. You know what? That's amazing how far people will go to avoid the truth.
Yeah.
Yes, we will actually be talking a little bit about that tomorrow morning, but I don't want to give away too much just because it's going to be a fun segment.
Like I said, I need to add the podcast to my iTunes. And like I said, I'm not trying to be mean. It's just Saturdays are my late nights because Rob makes fun of me for this. I watch anime on Cartoon Network, so that's my Zen time. You know? So I listen.
Hey, I cannot make fun of anybody. I watch cheesy cop shows.
You know what I have to say, Danielle, and this is kind of a throwback to what you said. You said we're getting a lot more downloads of our podcast than before, so something must be working. I think it's the hour of the day we're on now. People are just like, screw it, I ain't getting up on Sunday morning listening to jerks. That's what it is. There's not more people listening. They're just listening at a different damn time because they don't want to get up with us. And I don't blame anybody at all.
I don't blame anybody either. Adam, honestly, when Shane first suggested that time to me, I was like,
are you fucking kidding me?
There's an 8. What time is it? It's 9 to
9 a.m.
9 to noon.
There's a 9 a.m. on Sundays.
Yeah.
Well, you have to remember too that we live in this kind of like TiVo culture now, and if you put something out, it really doesn't depend on what time it is, because really, it's barrel o'clock somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well,
somewhere in the world, somebody wants to sit down, chill out, and listen to something.
And why not Mike Check Radio or Talking Left?
Exactly.
I aggressively
That's a good
promote.
recommendation.
I aggressively promote everyone every week because I've said it before. I kind of view everyone in this alternative media as kind of like one big happy dysfunctional family. Not dysfunctional.
And also,
in a bad way.
together.
You know what? And the great thing is, and it was, I think it was somebody was saying that we're creating our own echo chamber, and you can take that as a bad thing, or you can take that as a really good thing because the right has been doing it since the '80s, and certainly starting big time in the '90s. If we can create our own echo chamber and it gets loud enough that instead of someone flipping on Fox, they flip us on, and then they start becoming part of that. You know, sometimes it like you're saying, mic check. If it gets, if it bounces around enough and gets louder, that's how it can be amplified.
Yes.
Lots of small shows like ours, you know.
And actually, I forgot. I forgot to mention this earlier. What do you guys think about us getting Alan Grayson back?
That is awesome.
That's like
that totally came out of nowhere.
What?
I had no idea he was even running.
Oh, see, we've followed his race closely, especially one being from Florida, and two, if you're a Stephanie Miller fan, you know about the congressman with guts.
Mm-hmm.
But he is a true advocate for the middle class, for civil rights, for voting rights, for all of the things that make progressives good. He embodies all of them, and he fights like hell for the individual citizen.
That's
and it's
why
awesome that he's back.
That's why the right wing can't stand him. There's one thing the right wing truly can't stand, and that is a liberal with a spine.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Right.
why
that's why they hate Elizabeth Warren so much.
Yeah.
That's why they didn't like Kucinich. That's why they gerrymandered him out. That's why they went after Anthony Weiner.
Yeah.
In New York. There's been 2 years here where we really haven't had with all due respect, that we thought we were going to lose all of them. We still had Kucinich and we had Barney Frank, but I'm glad
And
they all
Sherrod Brown.
Sherrod Brown was
amazing.
I'm talking about the House.
It's amazing that the right has engineered this sex scandal as a make you retire tactic, like you were talking about Wiener.
Mm-hmm.
Has anybody read anything about Benjamin Franklin? He loved some hookers. You know what? That's okay. That's fine.
David Vitter, ever heard of him? He's still there.
And got standing ovation when he returned to Congress.
Yeah, well, I've pointed this out before. Wes can verify this. I've always said that, especially when you look at the case of Todd Aiken and Richard Murdoch, every time the right wing is given a chance to choose between principle and power, their political power, they always choose their political power. Mitt Romney could have probably peeled off women voters if he just come on and said, "You guys are crazy. I'm not supporting you."
But what did his support do for them anyways? He should have.
Yeah.
They both lost anyway.
Right, but I'm just saying that.
Guess what? They're a trio of losers. Great job.
I mean, I'm telling you, I think we dodged a major bullet Tuesday. He probably would have been on the phone the next day. How quickly can we get my face on Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, I'll pay for it myself.
No kidding.
How much
Just
will it
sacrifice-
cost me to just to get an exception to the money can't have a living president? I want to be on money.
Yeah, exactly. That would be fulfilling his lifelong prophecy, I believe.
Was that part of the White Horse prophecy?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, I've actually discussed that before, and some people disagree with me, but the White Horse prophecy was about well, first of all, it was a hilarious screw you from Joseph Smith, obviously, but it was also about a Mormon theocracy, and I'm telling people, it's like, this guy believes this. Doesn't that scare you even a little? And people are like, Adam, you're taking this way too far. Would he have gone all the way? I don't know. But I don't trust him as far as I can throw him, which probably isn't far.
The great thing, too, is this election, he actually got less of the Mormon vote than, what was it?
John
Bush
did.
Or John
McCain.
Or John McCain.
I've heard that as of today, the official vote is, his official popular vote count was 47%, which proves that God is a liberal Democrat. If this is true, and there's a God, he's a liberal Democrat.
Well, let's be honest. Jesus's whole thing was, feed the poor and heal the sick, and that's kind of our motto.
Well, yeah, and you had a large part of the Mormon movement coming out Mormons for Obama. Because of that reason that you just mentioned, that when you're sitting there and you sleep just fine at night after firing a bunch of people, destroying their lives, advocating against their rights, their health care, their ability to be upwardly mobile in the economy, and all of the things that religious people should stand for, and you're the antithesis of that, yeah, people who truly believe those religious values, they really honestly are devout, insert religion here, Mormon, Catholic, Christian, whatever, they're going to stand against that. And people who don't and vote party lines, don't sit there and tell me that you're truly religious.
Yeah, well,
damn straight.
I think that you got these, and I actually read an article about this a few months ago, just after we launched. It was about, what are the differences in terms of religious philosophy between the North and the South. And the thing is that the North is largely a Catholic background where your salvation has to be maintained through both receiving the sacrament as well as good works, donating, taking care of the poor and whatnot. Whereas the Protestant...
Whereas down here, it's like, hey, it's the South. We're saved and fuck ya.
Yeah, I mean...
oh, look, I'm saved. I do what the fuck ever I want.
That's basically that's basically the attitude, And I mean, I have my issues with the Catholic Church, coming from an Italian-American family. And the funny thing is, every time I tell people I'm a former Catholic, there was like, were you one of the ones that were molested? I was like, no! Stop asking me that!
Yeah. I always like to say, man, I was an altar boy. I was never pretty enough. I'm really sad. I was not attractive to the priest. And that's...
Consider it a blessing.
But no, I mean, at least the Catholic Church, I mean, I disagree with a lot of their political stances, but at least they try to live up to those parts of the gospel.
Well, keep in mind, I mean, Catholics, they're a huge, huge group. Remember that story that came out, it was a few months back, about the Pope who reprimanded a group of nuns who were too busy working on, things like feeding the poor and not busy enough working on suppressing gay people.
Yep.
How dare you talk to...
those are the Catholics I grew up with, that, my mom was one of, is they were like, oh, who cares who's having sex with who? These people are hungry.
Right. Well, and those who actually read the Bible wouldn't have a problem with those principles. It's that instead of reading the Bible with, honestly trying to take what Jesus taught, they are taking the teachings of one person that they have selected to be their leader, the Pope, and who is then just
the current Pope is a dick.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of John Ratzinger.
My mother's devoutly Catholic. She has stepped a lot away from the Catholic Church since Ratzinger came in. She is not so much Catholic no more.
It's even in his name, Ratzinger. Rat.
The unfortunately named.
Yeah, who does that? I mean, I should see if I can
I
find
bet he
out.
was so happy the day he got elected Pope so he could change his name. That sounds cool.
Finally, I could get rid of this awful name. I'm sorry, I can't do that.
And I've already got my first miracle towards sainthood.
That's great. It's like they say in Mystery Science Theater, we do have fun, don't we? But actually, I just so you know, you guys might find this amusing because I don't know how early Danielle was in, but we've come up with a grievance procedure for our friends on the right because we're helpers, we have hearts. Mine is made of lead, but it still pumps blood, so it technically counts. And so here is the grievance procedure. I'm sorry.
Lead poisoned blood.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I gotta go get it replaced every few days. But here is the grievance procedure for our friends on the right.
Grievance procedures. Make your hand into a hard fist, drawing as far away from your face as possible, and keep your hand in place. Quickly and forcefully run toward your hand.
And if that were actually, if that were an actual grievance procedure, some of them would be dumb enough to try it.
Yeah. How does this help? I don't understand.
Hey, wait a minute.
All I get out of this is a headache.
I'm gonna try it.
Yeah.
Hold my koozie. I'm gonna try this thing. See if it works.
Hold my beer and watch this.
Shit's getting real once you ask someone to hold your beer.
But I mean,
I love that. Oh my god, I want that drop.
I will see if I can clip it and enhance the audio for you, Shane, if you like.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, the green.
That is fantastic.
Yes.
And that's from, of course,
trill when you ask somebody to hold your beer. I'm going to use that line. Just letting you know.
So like I said, we do have fun, but no. That's what I remembered that clip because you guys know I'm a huge fan of Mystery Science Theater, and I'm looking through all this stuff about the conservatives just losing their minds over this. It's like Dana Loesch was somewhere in her studio going, and I was like, we need to establish a grievance procedure. Wait, Mystery Science Theater had one, so. Yeah, I got that, but like
Whatever
I said,
your problem. Mystery Science Theater can solve it.
Mystery Science Theater's.
Check out the mic while DJ revolves it.
There it is. Republicans solve everything with a tax cut. Adam solves everything with Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
Hey,
I like his plan better.
Well,
Me too.
I was an advocate of saying, I think that one of the ways we can build coalitions is by just forcing Congress to watch these bad movies together, because once Birdemic starts, you're no longer Republican or Democrat. You're just scared. Well, Wes seems
It's like if the dinosaurs came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I based that off of the T-Rex, but no, it's like Wes seems to have no problem with Birdemic. I will find a movie that scares him.
I watched Birdemic last night.
Actually,
my girlfriend hadn't seen it before, and neither had my roommate, so we watched Birdemic with the riff tracks. It was great.
Well, at least you watched the riff tracks. Well, a few weeks ago they did a riff tracks live, Shane and Danielle. So I went, and my reaction was, even with the riff tracks, and they did a good job. They're funny guys, but there is no possible way you could save Birdemic. It's not possible. So, but yeah, John, remind me later on after the show to get that clip for Shane and Danielle.
Okay.
Or maybe no, we can't put that in a promo now, can we? That won't work because they're on.
No, it won't. I don't think it embodies Mic Check Radio, but
right.
It is hilarious.
Yeah, well, no. Like I said, we, that's one of the things. We come up with the strangest things. But, so yeah, so other than, before I let you guys go, other than Karl Rove just melting down, which was the best, what else was there? What would you say is the delightful cherry on top of our election Sunday? Because for me, it's Alan West losing.
Well, isn't he still challenging in court?
He's still challenging, but he lost in court yesterday.
So did he? I didn't hear that. That's news to me. That's awesome.
He's
Awesome.
refusing to concede.
He's refusing to concede.
Oh.
So everything's against him.
Well, if he can't put somebody's head in a barrel and mock execute them, then I feel, he feels like he hasn't won yet.
I could
see that guy showing up. What would it be, January 2nd or January 3rd, and demanding to be sworn in, and like the sergeant at arms of the House having to say no. I can really see that situation, kind of the situation that happened with Roland Burris, where you show up to serve and they're like, no, you didn't win. Oh yes, I did.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. Yes,
Well,
I did.
I just think it's a wonderful irony that he managed to get out of the military with an honorable discharge, but yet he's not going to leave Congress with one.
Well, I was actually saying something similar to what you were saying, Shane. I was just saying that, it would be hysterical if he had to be dragged out by the sergeant-at-arms just screaming, take your hands. It's like, have you ever seen Clue with Tim Curry?
Yes.
About the second ending, take your hands off me. I'm a senator's wife. It's just like, wouldn't that be hysterical if he had to be marched off and, by the sergeant saying, take your hands off.
You know what would make it even more...
Don't thump him in the chest.
You know what would make it even more hysterical? If Nicole Sandler got to sit by and watch and laugh. How does it feel, buddy?
Lock him up.
Yeah, Nicole Sandler.
How's the back of that cop car feel, Dick?
I'll have to explain this because I don't think I've mentioned that incident before to my co-host, but yeah, Nicole Sandler. I guess she's kind of like our elder, our mentor, our wise Yoda-like mentor. But she had an interesting experience, and I'll make sure to enlighten my co-host because that really ticked me off too. Because I don't care if you're left wing or right wing. We have a First Amendment. There was nothing wrong with, you don't have a First Amendment right to not be offended or challenged. There.
She was arrested for talking while liberal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is a crime, apparently. But, I think the way we can sum up a lot of the opinions of the right wing is with this classic cut from Mythbusters.
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that facts are a Republican's kryptonite.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They are to Republicans
Truth
what the
is
cross is
completely
to a
has liberal
vampire.
bias.
They are to Republicans what a cross is to a vampire.
Yes, absolutely.
Is that
as
or
witnessed
what
by?
arrows are to me?
Is that going
Well,
too far?
as witnessed by
Or
what Fox
Rush Limbaugh's
is doing.
penis is to women.
Oh! Booyah.
But anyway, we're coming up to the top of the hour. Thank you both, Shano and Danielle. Hopefully, I don't know if things are going to slow down for you two, because I think it's only going to get bigger and better from here on out. But, of course, you are free whenever, to join us. You both know
Thank you, Adam. That's really nice of you.
You both know I don't bite. I only nibble. I always say that. So, I will say this before we go to break. When Alan West goes in to be sworn in, I want him to say that epic line from They Live. I have come to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. And you just know the Republicans, John Boehner, will just go bone white. You just don't,
That would be a feat in and of itself.
There you go.
Yeah.
And
I think he'd be kind of a pale orange. He'd be like a creamsicle.
Yes. For the win.
I think that might actually be a usable promo, Wes. Thank you.
Yes.
Anyway,
That's hilarious.
Anyway, we're gonna go to break. Thank you both so much. Thank you,
Adam, and it was very nice meeting you all.
Keep up the great work.
Thank you. And like I said, I was afraid I was being too pushy. It's like apparently not. So,
not at all.
Thank you.
Be pushy.
Anyway,
you weren't at all.
Both of you, congratulations to both of you. I'll try, like I said, if I'm up that early, I will gladly watch, but generally...
You can check it out on YouTube or iTunes for free.
Yes.
So all the links are on TalkingLeft.com.
And the show is Talking Left every Sunday, 9 to noon Eastern on are you guys still broadcasting through Radio or Not?
Yep, Radio or Not, SoFlo Radio, Progressive Blend Radio, We Act Radio, and of course, TalkingLeft.com.
You guys have your fingers in many sinister soups.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to go to break. We will be back it looks like War's not going to join us, guys, but there's more shut-in for you to be had. We'll be right back after this.
Don't you know that a traditional Japanese breakfast is steamed rice, miso soup, and a little...
Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert.
Hi, this is Kenny Pick from Turn Up the Night. Here are some of the hijinks you can expect from my show. Now, Tony, since you're in the UK, I would love to get your opinion of some of our contenders right now. So let's start with our good friend Mitt Romney.
Mr. Smoothie.
Yeah. Have you heard his singing voice? The man has the voice of an angel.
Does he really?
Above the fruited plains.
So.
Brilliant.
Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick, streaming live every Tuesday and Friday from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern at Radio or Not, Talk Radio 1, Progressive Blend Radio, and KennyPick.com.
It's the HowdyLand.com News Bullet with Stan Douglas. Go to HowdyLand.com and click on the Funny Times special offer to receive your free sample issue today.
It's a rare slow news day here at HowdyLand.com, a time, I think, for a bit of broad reflection on our recent past and perhaps a look ahead to the news stories we'll be covering in the months ahead.
Stan?
Stories that will shake the world and vex the little cradle babies drowsing happily.
Stan?
What the hell is it, Steve?
Cradle babies? Really?
Well, I was just adding a bit of poetic...
A slow news day? Really?
Well, yes, that's what I call it. Nothing happened. Now, you just sit back in that comfortable chair and make me sound good while I...
There was a presidential election yesterday, Stan.
Really? Who won?
Don't ask me. I just make you sound good. Cradle babies? Really, Stan?
This HowdyLand.com news bullet is reaching desperately for a smartphone and will have the latest election results tomorrow. I'm Stan Douglas.
You never know who or what you'll hear when you listen to The Nicole Sandler Show at RadioOrNot.com.
Alan Grayson, you're the best. We love you. We need you back in Congress, and I'm here to do whatever I can to make that happen in my own little way.
Thanks. I enjoyed the time with you personally. I wish that the listeners could get to know you the way that I know you and understand that you're the same person off the air as you are on the air. It's not some kind of shtick. You really do care greatly about all the important things in life, and you understand that sometimes people just need a helping hand.
Yeah.
And that the world, as John Kennedy said, doesn't start out there. You have to make it that way.
The Nicole Sandler Show, live Monday through Thursdays at 10 a.m. Eastern, or podcast anytime at RadioOrNot.com.
What the hell? Are you stuck at home on a Saturday night with nothing to do again?
I can't take it anymore!
Then join me, my co-hosts, and my guests every Saturday evening for Mic Check Radio with Adam Hebert. Okay. Together we'll discuss the big news of the week from entertainment and politics, talk about the issues that are on your mind, and hey, we'll even talk about general stupidity and jackassery from the American right.
You stupid jackass!
So join me every Saturday evening, 6 to 9 p.m. Central at my Ustream home, Mic Check Radio. Come on in, it'll be loads of fun.
Gee, I sure hope there's a happy ending. I love a happy ending.
Have you checked your mic? If you haven't, somebody else has. That's Adam Hebert on Mic Check Radio.
Fuck yeah! And we are back. Special thank you to Danielle and Shane. I almost said Dano and Shanielle. I'm getting a little tongue-tied here. Sorry, but thank you to them both for joining us for a very lovely hour, wouldn't you say?
Yes.
Yes.
It was in fact pleasant.
Yes, very pleasant, very fun.
It was quite like a wonderful little tea party, but not an American tea party.
Yeah, not...
Those get quite irrational and violent. We don't prefer AK-47s at our tea parties.
Now, that's always bothered me. What sort of American prefers a Soviet-made rifle? I've never understood that, but, you know, I guess they're a good piece. So, yeah, I had to throw in the Alan Grayson promo for Nicole Sandler. I mean, let's just take a minute to just say, you guys screwed up. You know, they thought they got rid of him, and he comes back stronger than ever. I mean,
yeah, man. Alan Grayson is a political Saiyan.
Yeah. I was actually about to say. So I was thinking about over the break, and I think that the Republican Party is like that anime villain, you know, where they'll swing their sword, you know, the good guys will breeze past them, sheath his sword, and they're like, you missed me. You loser, you missed me. And all of a sudden they kind of start to split down the middle.
Yeah. I remember the first example of that I ever saw was in the first Ninja Gaiden game on the NES.
Oh, dear.
It had that cool animated intro.
Yep.
Where the ninjas jump at each other and fight.
You do realize that in terms of games, you and me are both extremely old men.
I'm used to it.
Me, though.
Goddamn kids!
Back in my day,
off my lawn, you son.
back in my day, if we wanted a Megaten game, we had to walk uphill to Japan both ways barefoot.
Technically, you're right.
I guess. So anyway, it's the all. We're still doing the mostly all edition of Mike Check Radio because I mean. I'm sure we'll stop spiking the ball sometime before our 6-month anniversary show because, you know, it's our 6-month anniversary. I'm sure we should do something special for that. And
we're going to need something to talk about next week, I mean.
You know, so yeah. So let's do some more of this. I really wanted to play this because this is, I was gonna add it to the clip of Karl Rove on talking to Megyn Kelly, but so here is another one. This is after he says Obama won by suppressing the vote. Here's Megyn Kelly's reaction to that because this is just priceless. It's just priceless.
Remember, again, President Obama has been reelected with becoming the first president in history to win a second term with a smaller percentage of the vote than he did in his first term.
You keep saying that, but I mean, he won, Carl. He won, and that's what the Republicans, care about the Democrats.
But you know what? Okay, first of all, I want to point out that, of course, Bush was going to have a larger percentage of the popular vote, considering he lost his first election. So that's not... It's like me saying I'm smarter than Savage and sexier than Limbaugh. Technically true, but it's not like that's a really high hurdle, you know.
Right.
Now, if this were Limbaugh... I
have to say, what's up with Megyn Kelly?
She sounds...
It's almost like she's almost doing her job.
It's like she's sane.
Let's not go that far.
Okay. But I will say this, that to the Republican, to Mitt Romney...
Yes! We defeated you for all time! You will never rise from the ashes of your shame and humiliation!
I know you don't like that drop, Rob, but tough noogies.
I like the other one with Conan.
What is best in life? Here we go. Oh, nope, that's not it. What the hell? I guess it's not in my box. I am so sorry. I thought I had it. Okay, does anyone remember that montage I played earlier? The farewell to Willard?
Yes.
So,
that one.
as I mentioned, I didn't get just... Kenny said, if you cut this down and send it in, I guarantee you it'll get airtime and Stephanie Miller. And I didn't get played just once, but twice. So
yeah, we heard that.
Okay.
Now we're going to have to insult you for the rest of the hour to get your ego back down the side.
Well, let's say...
Oh my God. First he got a laugh from John Fugelsang. Now he got played on Stephanie Miller.
Well, it happened at the same time.
We're gonna have to do something. We're gonna have to hurt you.
Well, let me first play this then. At least let me get that. Let me inflate my ego a bit before. So here is they don't mention me by name. They mention me by name on the first play. But here is, because when I heard I got a laugh out of John Fugelsang, I was like, that's the clip I want. So here.
Yeah, but this was even better. I mean, this was such a victory for intelligence and decency. It was such a victory for the American people not being suckered by the media's narrative. When you saw how not close it was, you realize how the media's been playing all of us into this horse race.
Don, I said it all along. Worst campaign ever. And by the way, Mittens, thanks for the memories. Let's just take
Mitt, who really has been demonized in many ways.
Join me
in welcoming the next president of the United States, Paul Ryan.
So we went to the company and we said, look, you can't have any illegals working on our property. I'm running for office, for Pete's sake. I can't have illegals.
No, I like grits, and strange things are happening to me. Corporations are people, my friend.
They brought us whole binders full of women. I love this state. It seems right here. The trees are the right height. I love cars. I love American cars. I like seeing the lakes. I love the lakes. Syria is Iran's only ally in the Arab world. It's their route to the sea.
Stop it. This is hard. You want to try it? Get in the ring. This is hard.
What would each of you say to President and Mrs. Obama?
Well, start packing. I know what it's like to worry whether you're going to get fired. There were a couple of times I wondered whether I was going to get a pink slip.
I like PBS. I love Big Bird. I actually like you, too. I'm not familiar precisely with exactly what I said, but I stand by what I said, whatever it was.
No one's ever asked to see my birth certificate. They know that this is the place that we were born and raised.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. The headline you read, which is said, let Detroit go bankrupt.
Romney Ryan, Romney Ryan, Romney Ryan. There we go. All right, that's great. Thank you. Oh, sweet Jesus.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Mika is a better woman than I am. That was very compassionate and heartfelt. I'm sorry.
Okay, now you can begin deflating my ego. You have my personal permission.
Hey, Adam, is that your penis or Rush Limbaugh's?
Oh! What penis?
Too far.
Oh!
Too far.
Sorry, I have my binoculars on.
Too far! That is too far, Wes. I want to read this, because this is actually hysterical. So as we all know, our friends on the right are not taking their loss very well.
Much like during the campaign, they are in denial of the reality that they live in.
Yes. So this was on, I believe, Free Republic, the right-wing website full of whack jobs and dumbasses. And this is a letter. This is a letter to Queen Elizabeth. We need some royal music. Wes, take a memo for that. Your Majesty, we the people of the former American colonies would like to offer our most sincere apology for that little misunderstanding we had 236 years ago. Had we known that we were going to be subjects anyway, we could have saved a lot of trouble and hard feelings. We were under the mistaken belief that we'd be free, sovereign citizens. We believed that our hard work would yield its own rewards without someone coming along and taking what we built in the name of fairness. We thought our laws and constitution would protect us from a foreign-born dictator, and our freedom to worship would prevent us from becoming a corrupt, morally bankrupt society. Silly us. Little did we know that our own free press would intentionally sabotage, deceive, and withhold the truth from us in order to re-elect a socialist that still holds disdain for our nation and contempt for its founding principles. Nor did we believe that there would be so many citizens dependent on government handouts that they would blindly elect an unqualified charlatan, let alone re-elect him. Anyway, Your Grace, we are truly sorry and humbly, sincerely beg your forgiveness. If you could find it in your heart to forgive us and take us back, we promise never to trade British oppression for socialist tyranny again. Your most humble servants, the American people. God save the Queen.
So, do these guys know anything about what actually Britain is like now?
Yeah, they don't have subjects. Actually, they have a socialist government. So, it's socialized medicine. It's right up there with these retards that think that they should go to Canada.
Oh, I think I'm going to flag down that.
Yeah.
Remember,
you lost the Republican as a Republican, so you're going to go to a place where there's universal health care and same-sex marriage is legal.
Well, let's talk about that.
Sound like a place you're going to be happy, dude.
Well, it's funny you should point that out because the headline is anti-Obama teen Christian Neal's tweet about moving to Australia triggers heated backlash. On Wednesday afternoon, 18-year-old Kristen Neal tweeted this comment to her followers, quote, "I'm moving to Australia because their president is a Christian and actually supports what he says." I'm going to let that sink in for a minute before I read this excellent reply. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yes.
An Australian replies, Our Prime Minister is a woman, an atheist who lives with a man she hasn't married. I don't think you'd like it here.
And the thing is, this is somebody who could vote, who doesn't know. I mean, okay, I'll admit that, you know, I probably wouldn't know that the Prime Minister of Australia was an atheist, not being in Australia, but I would probably know it was
Bonza. You know, we should get Giggles on sometime to talk about this, because he's from Australia. He has the accent and everything. We'll have to see if we can book him for next week.
Okay. I'm down for some Australians. They're cool by me.
Good.
I like Foster's and shrimp on the barbie.
So yeah, and apparently she got so ticked off with being schooled by Aussies, she shut her Twitter account down. So we have archived her tweet for, could we say posterity? I mean, that's fair, isn't it?
Posterity, remember, comes from the Latin posterior, which means rear. So yes,
yeah,
I think that's appropriate.
And that she got her ass kicked, ass being another name for rear.
She's old enough to vote. Just pointing that out.
Yeah, that's just sad. So I don't know who you all chose, but should we do asshole of the week now?
Sure, I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
All right, mine's. I'm
Hope nobody stepped on me this week.
I'm sorry.
Hope nobody stepped on mine this week.
Well, here's hoping. I've got a super special one. That's why I always go last. So here we go. Let's take out some trash.
Who is he?
He's an asshole, sir.
I know that. What's his name?
Asshole. Major asshole.
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
Were you born an asshole?
Asshole?
Or did you work at it your whole life? Either way, it worked out fine. 'Cause you're an asshole tonight.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Oops. Damn it! I need to get better at that. So, who do we go first? Rob, since you're our special guest co-host this week, why don't you kick off asshole of the week for us?
Well, I picked for this week because, and let's be honest, this week there was a whole range of assholes to pick from.
I know, it was like an asshole cornucopia.
Unfortunately, I'm the one that picked Karl Rove. And we've already played like 10 clips of Karl Rove already. So I'm pretty sure you all know why I picked Karl Rove.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it wasn't bad enough.
A good choice.
It wasn't bad enough for him to like play this whole denial thing on live TV. It's like, it couldn't be. We couldn't lose Ohio. There's no way we could lose Ohio. But you lost Ohio.
Yep.
Because you live in the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, and the best part of it, oh my God, him, of all people, accusing the president of suppressing the vote is just, I have no words. It's just, this man has balls the size of a planet.
John Kendall.
And I hope he does, because there's a lot of angry millionaires out there.
Yeah. I think he's frantically getting his stuff together to get out of the country before the Koch's assassin catches up to him. John, what do you got?
After Tuesday, some people are going to disappear.
What do you got for us, John?
I am not going political. I am going artistic this week.
You bastard! No, I'm just joking. Go on.
My asshole of the week is, get ready, Scarlett Johansson for getting a shitty tattoo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm pasting it up in the chat, and like, honestly, like, I started tattooing and whatnot, and that tattoo was horrible.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the tattoo, and seriously, it looks like they got like some kid to do it.
I know. Jesus.
Exactly.
You're a millionaire, woman. Jeez, at least.
I mean, I get the phrase "lucky you" because I mean, Scarlett Johansson is giggity. But a bad tattoo like that, no!
Okay. Well, we also have to wonder, where exactly did she get this tattoo at? Is it on her ass?
It's on her side.
So it's probably like on her leg or something.
What?
No, it's on her side.
So
like
on
her ribcage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like the side of her abdomen. Yeah.
What?
Wow, that's horrible.
Okay.
I mean, that is a horrible tattoo.
If she got the tattoo on her ass, I would, that would totally make some sense. I mean, that would make a...
Even then, she has lots and lots of money. She can get an artist to design this.
Yeah, like Kat Von D or some other well-known like that. But no.
Wow. I swear, it looks like she did it herself, maybe.
I know, and that'd be hard as shit to do, because, I don't know, I can't even do that.
Yeah. All right, Wes, what do you got for us, sir?
My asshole of the week is Mitch McConnell. Always a good choice.
Always a good choice.
Because, President Obama won the election, and he made the calls around. And I only saw this, mentioned very vaguely. It wasn't really mentioned a lot in the news cycle. Mitch McConnell fucking left him hanging. He didn't answer the call. Barack Obama called Mitch McConnell right after it was declared. Mitch McConnell did not answer.
Yeah, neither did Boehner.
Also, Boehner didn't either.
Boehner didn't at first, but he did. He did after a little bit.
He's like,
McConnell snubbed him all night. It's like, okay, like it or not, he's the fucking president.
And they're gonna learn that payback's a bitch. And you know what I want for payback? I want Harry Reid to put Elizabeth Warren's... Because remember that Mitch McConnell said Elizabeth Warren would never, ever have a hearing in the Senate. I want Harry Reid to put Elizabeth Warren's office as close to Mitch McConnell's as possible, so she has to walk. So they have to see each other every day, and she'll be like, "Hi, bitch, it's Mitch." Not sexist. What? Go.
I think a better revenge would be driving off the fiscal cliff.
Well, like I said,
Thelma and Louise style.
There's a reason why the Republicans do not want to go over the fiscal cliff, because they know if we do, they're going to have to do whatever Barack Obama wants in terms of cutting taxes, even if it's just for the lower classes, and they don't want that. All right.
All of their eggs have come home to roost.
Yep, Yes. So my asshole of the weekend, this one is. This one
is a doozy.
My asshole of the week is famous science fiction author. Does he just do science fiction, or does Orson Scott Card just do science fiction, or does he do more genres?
I think he just does science fiction.
He's the author of the famous children's novel series the Ender Saga, or whatever. I've never read it, and to be honest, I never will, because he following election, he just lost his shit. Here's just a small sample from his article. To you news people at CBS, CNN, ABC, NBC, to you journalists at the New York Times, the Washington Post, and newspapers all over America, you did it. You won. You were able to get Barack Obama's second term. You knew that if you told the American people the truth, they would not have elected this man. Americans don't vote to reelect a commander-in-chief who abandons our soldiers and agents and ambassadors when they're under enemy fire. So he's a Benghazi Gate guy. He then said he talked later on in the article. He talks about Sandy. He says only Bush was held accountable for storm damage, as if he had godlike powers and failed to use them. Barack Obama has no accountability. Not if we depend on you to call him to account. And then he says, he goes on to, here's the question, you journalists, you news people. If Barack Obama had a propaganda minister with the power to shut you down if you ran stories that embarrassed him or his administration, would your station, your network, your newspaper, your magazine still be in business? If America had a Joseph Goebbels, who would arrest any journalist who reported anything that would make the administration look bad. Did you write or say or report anything during this election campaign that would put you inside a jail cell? Everybody at Fox News would have been jailed, and Fox News would have been shut down.
Thank God.
I mean, yeah, Jesus Christ. This guy, I mean...
Whoa. You've been angered
you, my friend, are just a few plums short of a fruit pie.
And I will say this. I know, I've heard before this guy was a right-winger. I never knew he was this far right-wing. And I can tell you this. Ender's Game, the movie, comes out next year. I will not be watching it. I will be promoting a boycott. I will never read one of the sick son of a bitch's books. You know what? I don't care if he's I don't care if he crap Shakespeare plays. I'm not gonna give my dollars to this asshole who says that Barack Obama's out to shut Fox News down. There's a difference between saying they are not a news organization saying they need to be shut down. I have no problem with Fox News existing. They just shouldn't be able to call themselves news, and there's a difference. So, Orson Scott Card, you are my asshole of the week, and please feel free to kiss the fattest, whitest, most liberal Italian-American part of my fat, white, liberal Italian-American ass, lower left cheek, pucker up. So, there we go. So we're gonna go to break, and when we come back, we're gonna have some more Schadenfreude. I mean, this show has just gone by, so, wow. Anyway, we'll be right back after this. This is, of course, Mike Check Radio with me, Wes Karskan, the most badass co-host on Liberal Talk Radio, Rob Poole out of Baltimore, and John Kendall out of Missoula.
Who do you think you are, anyway? If I gave you my name, you'd get it dirty.
You're listening to Adam Hebert and Mike Check Radio.
It's atomic fire. Atomic fucking fire. It's atomic fire. Atomic fucking fire. Out in the madness. The madness we call the future. We're living on borrowed time. You borrowed yours and I borrowed mine. This is a wasteland. It is a no man's land. And you ought to know it's gonna explode. It's atomic fire. Atomic fucking fire. It's atomic fire. Atomic fucking fire. Out on our own. We're thrown, no more bones here. Looking for sanctuary. Looking for the sun. We're in a sinkhole. It's turning into a black hole. And you ought to know it's gonna explode. It's atomic fire. Atomic fucking fire. It's atomic fire. Atomic fucking fire. Atomic fucking fire. Atomic fucking fire.
Are you living in a progressive talk void? If so, be sure to visit leftwingradiosstations.com. The state-by-state listing is a quick and easy way to find any left-wing talk radio station across America, from sea to shining sea. Your progressive talk nirvana is only a click away at leftwingradiosstations.com. Be sure to like Left Wing Radio Stations on Facebook and share it with your friends. LeftWingRadioStations.com. United we stand.
The White House just rammed health care down everybody's throats.
Having trouble understanding your conservative friends? Try Red Statistone, the first mobile app designed especially to translate right-wing talk into English. Just record the conservative phrase.
We're moving more and more towards socialism.
Then press the translate button.
I can't handle having a black president.
Red Statistone translates everything your Republican friends say.
They're weighing businesses down with too many regulations.
I can't handle having a black president.
I'll be glad when we get our country back.
I can't handle having a black president.
Take Red Statistone home for the holidays so you can try to understand your relatives.
You know who'd make a great president? That Herman Cain.
I so much can't handle having a black president that I hide my racism by supporting a black candidate who hasn't got a prayer of winning.
If you can't understand Red State gibberish, at last there's an app for that. Red Statistone.
Unfiltered truth, news, and opinion. Filter-free radio with Jacob Dean and Skeptical Scott. Live every Monday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. Radio or not. And filterfreeradio.com.
I'm not claiming to have any answers, let alone the answer or a answer or a logical answer. I
don't even know my name.
Heck, I don't even know where I live.
That's the one.
But the point is just starting the conversation is where it starts. You just simply start talking about it, and then you start thinking about it, and then we're thinking about something that could bring about a real solution or a real change to really benefit a whole bunch of people, rather than a reality TV show that is as relevant as gossip on the Jersey Shore. It's garbage.
Force critical thought on people.
I want to look at things how they really are and talk about things how they really are, and maybe we can really solve some really serious problems with real solutions.
Filter-free radio, Monday, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. Radio or not. And filterfreeradio.com.
The body of a child, the brain of a genius, the 2000 IQ Killjoy detective.
It's Adam Hebert with Mike Check Radio.
And we are back for our final segment. At least I think we're all here. John, are you here?
Yo.
Wes?
Yeah, I'm still here, buddy.
And Rob?
Yep.
I am here.
Mouseketeer, what was it? Robot roll call. No. So yeah.
For Voltron, I want to be the left arm.
I was actually about to say, you
I
guys.
got you on right.
I guess that makes me the head.
I guess that can be the legs.
Cool. We're Voltron.
I've actually joked and said you guys should see what I do to get my room ready for the show, because it is about as complex as the Voltron forming. Excuse me. So yeah, unfortunately, we're almost out of time. We have so much more Schadenfreude.
Oh, I'm sure we'll have plenty of time.
3 hours. It's sad when 3 hours just isn't enough, right?
Yeah, that means you're doing something right.
Did you guys see Ted Nugent's...
That, or we can save it for next week.
We can save some for next week, too. Did you guys see Ted Nugent's reaction?
Oh, good.
No, I didn't see the Ted Nugent's reaction, but, yeah. So, I guess we're up with... He's also in company with Hannity as far as counting down how many days until he does what he claimed he was going to do.
Yeah, and please do try, Ted, because...
Please.
I will attend your funeral for the sole purpose of dropping trow and pissing on your corpse. Is that too far?
No.
Okay.
No,
nah.
Not really.
I was thinking of dropping a Cleveland Steamer on him.
The
funny thing is,
personally, I was just right, poop on his forehead.
Ted Nugent's blowout or blow up makes him look worse than Donald Trump.
And that's hard to do.
Exactly, but oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got several tweets. So, pimps, whores, and welfare brats and their soulless supporters have a president to destroy America. So far, not that. Okay, that's typical for him. What subhuman varmint? Who uses the word varmint in a political discussion.
That down there, varmint.
I mean,
We need dueling banjos.
Yosemite Sam.
Come on out, varmint. What subhuman varmint? Should I just read this as Yosemite Sam? What subhuman varmint believes others must pay for their obesity, booze, cell phone, birth... I can't do that.
Obviously does not flatter you.
Yeah, I don't think you can pull it off that well.
Yeah. Cell phones, birth control, abortions, and lives. No one. Are you sure you should be doing that? You do understand, Wes, we're recording, right?
Is that obvious?
Good luck, America. You just voted for economic and spiritual suicide. Soulless fools. Wow. And of course, I think one of the funny tweets I saw today was Dinesh D'Souza, or as I call him, Dinesh D'Pooza, because he's full of shit. He was saying he was reminded of when Scar, in Lion King, of when Scar took over the Pride Lands. It's like, stop raping my childhood, you dumb jackass. Did I do something wrong?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So we forgot to mention this. Did you guys hear that Mitt Romney had only written an acceptance speech on by election?
Yeah, that's fucked up, man. Because it's amazing because every reputable poll and every evidence was that, at least, even at best for Mitt Romney, there was a chance, And
it's
yet,
not just that.
Somehow he too was in the bubble.
It's not just that.
He too was inside this thing you can't get through where everything's going to be all right because Superman's going to show up and suddenly somehow save the day.
It's not just that, Wes. It just shows this man has no class. You can have all the money in the world and it still can't buy you any fucking class because President Obama had written one of each. He wrote both an acceptance speech and a concession speech. Mitt Romney and his stupid wife and his brat children and his brat grandchildren, and I'm sure he's probably got great grandchildren by now because, dear God, we all know those Mormon shag like minxes or like rabbits.
Oh yeah, you
rabbits.
get married at the age you can conceive and then just keep pumping them out.
Yeah. I mean, the man has no... It's like they said in Werewolf in that episode of Mystery Science Theater. The cheese ball's got no freaking class. It's about how you behave. You are the president of everyone. You need to act like it. I'm sorry, only writing a victory speech? No.
Bullshit.
Well, I mean, it's just exactly like I said before. It's like they are living in denial. They believe they're eating their own bullshit.
Mm-hmm. So this one's good. I don't know if we're gonna be able to finish this. Maybe we should say the title of this article from Libertarian Republican is, quote, "Time to tell any Democrats fuck off and die." Lovely title. Lovely title.
Oh, beautiful.
I mean,
how classy.
Classy with a KKK, right?
Yeah.
Really.
This may be my last post here at Libertarian Republic for quite some time. Possibly forever.
My last post. Oh no.
Today's
internet serious business.
I know, right? Today starts a new course for my life. I've soured on electoral politics given what happened last night. You lost! Get over it! I believe now the best course of action is outright revolt. What do I mean by that? Well, to each his own. Some may push secession in their state legislatures. Others may leave the U.S. for good. And again, I say to you, please leave. But don't let the door hit you on the way out because we don't want your nasty ass prints on our nice door.
Yeah. Go ahead and try to find another country that
actually
you want to live in.
I think we're gonna...
reasonably that is not more to the left of what you believe.
How about Somalia?
Go for it.
How about, you know what? We're gonna save this for next week. There's just so, I almost highlighted the entire article. Let's do some more clips because that's. I mean, I've got some killer audio from Glenn Beck. I thought I had some killer audio from. So here is Glenn Beck, his post-election plan. What the fuck? There we go. Post-election plan from Glenn Beck.
But it's suicide to sit back. And not just for my company or your company, but for the country. We don't have the luxury of time. I've been telling you for a while, and I've told my own staff, if the president wins, I don't know how we survive. I don't know how we survive the regulation that is coming for my industry. I don't know how we're going to survive the pressure and the tactics, because he has more flexibility now, and they remember their enemies. I don't know how we're going to survive because I won't compromise. I won't make a deal with the devil. I want you to understand this.
Yes, he did.
Inflation is coming. The fiscal cliff is coming. The dollar fell last night on the news. Your taxes are going up. Your health care costs are going up. Your religion is going to come under attack. Gas, coal, and energy is going to become more expensive. You remember that list we put out a few months ago? Of do these things? I will tell you, last week we purchased more farmland as a family. May I recommend, if you have a chance to buy farmland, you buy farmland. If you live in the East, may I recommend, get the hell out of the East. Find a place where you are surrounded by like-minded people, and the best way to find those people is you should probably look at the maps on how counties voted and get away as far as you can from where huge densities of people who are like, I just need FEMA to help me.
We need dueling banjos.
All right, we're done with that. Yes, conservatives.
We really needed dueling banjos on that one.
Please, conservatives, gather all in one area, because that'll basically make. I mean, he's basically saying, let's let the Republican Party become a regional party. That's what he's saying.
Yes. Oh no, anything but that. Let's marginalize our own party.
Oh no, please, Glenn, don't go.
Can we build a fence around it?
Yes. Yes. All right. Here's more of Glenn.
That's a fence I'm in favor of.
I'm for that.
We'll do it like what that one preacher wanted for the lesbians and gays. We'll electrify it, and we'll put guards on it, and anyone caught trying to break into our side gets shot dead, like the dogs they are. Here's more Glenn Beck.
Glenn, I will say something that unquestionably will be controversial, but regardless of who wins this race, in my opinion, it invalidates the whole election. If we failed to provide the people that are defending our right to vote with an opportunity to vote, at the same time that we fly Air Force One all over the world for not only their president but his family, and we can't afford to fund a program for those young men and women that are serving this country, we can't give them the opportunity to vote, it invalidates the whole election.
Education has just destroyed the country. How long, David, if we don't take on education, how long before we just, I mean, it may be tonight, I don't know, but how long before we just don't survive?
Our schools every year graduating another class of anti-American Americans. Americans with no faith in Americanism, Europeanized Americans who believe in a sort of quasi-socialist aristocracy as opposed to a republic of individuals, a God-fearing republic of individuals. These words are never spoken, except ironically, to students. How long do we have? I
have this.
Hey, there's an irony about that. There is. I hate to say this, but I have to agree with them to a degree. There is this idea that we're educating this bunch of fanatically anti-American socialist bastard people. Unfortunately, they tend to be Republicans.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yeah.
The 1%,
Yeah,
I mean,
you can go ahead and just give my bank a ton of money, but don't give that mother trying to feed her kids some money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I do have this. I dug this up. This is from 2004 after Bush won, from our friend Rush Limbaugh.
I'm tired of these Democrats acting like they won the election. When somebody needs to stand up and say, when you win the election, you pick the nominees. Until then, shut up! Just shut up! Just go away, bury yourselves in your rat holes, and don't come out till you win an election. When you win an election...
We won an election. Shut the fuck up, motherfuckers. You're our bitch now.
Yes. I am so looking forward to the next 2 months. The next 2 months are going to be like the best political porn ever for a progressive. Just seeing the Republicans scream, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. Watching them squirm over the fiscal cliff.
This is pure gold right here.
I went to bed last night thinking we're outnumbered.
You are! There are more Democrats than Republicans.
All this discussion we'd had about this election being the election that will tell us whether or not we've lost the country.
You've lost. Go away.
I went to bed last night thinking we've lost the country. I don't know how else you look at this. The first wave of exit polls came in at 5 o'clock. I looked at it. I read the first 2 pages. And I said to myself, this is utter BS. And I forwarded the exit poll data that I had to 3 or 4 people, and my message to each of them, this is utter BS. And if it isn't, then we've lost the country.
It was never yours to begin with, Rush. It was ours. We made this country, not you. This country was built by liberals, for liberals, because at the time it was a liberal idea to say, you know what, we don't want a king, we don't want a monarchy. You know what they called conservatives during the revolution? Wes, what did they call conservatives during the revolution?
Douchebags.
Well, aside from that,
dillweeds.
More
Republicans.
This is before.
Conservatives.
They were called Tories.
Yes, yes.
These were the people.
Funny story.
Oh, go on. Yes.
There was a girl in one of my earliest, like 7th grade U.S. history classes. We were doing a lesson, on the American Revolution. It was high school or middle school, anyway. And she was full-on Republican. She was Republican upbringing. From the rich part of town, Romney-kin. And so in the middle of the lesson, she stops and says, okay, we were talking about the Tories and the Whigs. She says, okay, so which party would you call the more conservative? And the teacher stops and looks kind of confused. And he goes, well, I guess the Tories. And she goes, oh, okay, I guess I would be a Tory.
I know.
And I just looked at her and said, think about that. Think about that.
Those are the people we broke away from.
Yeah. You were the ones who were saying we shouldn't rebel.
Not just that, they were the ones sabotaging our efforts for freedom. They were going to the British saying this is what's going to happen. But we are running out of time, so let's get our plugs out of the way, shall we? And of course, we are very grateful to Shano and Danielle for their hour. So let's do Talking Left first. Talking Left is on every Sunday, 9 a.m. to 12 noon Eastern. They broadcast out of Nicole Sandler's Radio or Not. They're also now on WeAct Radio. The Nicole Sandler Show, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Again on Radio or Not. Filter Free Radio with Jacob Dean and Skeptical Scott every Monday, and now a second show on Wednesdays, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern on Radio or Not. And I was actually on Filter Free Radio Wednesday to talk about my experiences at Walmart. The Maurice Show, Sundays, 5 to 9 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, Big Bro himself, Turn Up the Night with Kenny Pick, every Tuesday and Friday, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern. And don't forget the repeat of the weekend edition every Sunday on WVKO 1580 out of Columbus, Ohio, every Sunday night, 5 to 8 p.m. Eastern. And, of course, we have our friends who don't have a radio presence but do have websites. There's USA Progressive with Ray Medeiros. Our friend Brad Freeman at bradblog.com. Messaging Matters at messagingmatters.com. Our favorite my favorite webcomic, By Moon Alone at bymoonalone.com. bymoonalone.com. My friend Robert Wood at avinabstract.com, AEVIN abstract.com. And, of course, Paul Green at leftwingradiostations.com. And we thank Paul and all of our friends who promote the show from the bottom of our hearts. So, yeah. Schadenfreude feels pretty good, huh?
Yeah. Although I pronounce it Schadenfreude.
Tomato.
Schadenfreude is correct, I believe.
I'm pretty sure it's Schadenfreude.
Tomato.
That's what. Yeah.
They all taste the same.
Tomato.
Schaden. Bitch, you got your ass beat.
I know.
Oh no, you didn't.
Hey, you know what the funny thing? You know what the funny thing is that you had people. I had people on Facebook say, "Well, at least we kept the Senate, or not the Senate, the House." And I said, and I made it a point to go to everyone who said that. And said, "Don't worry, we'll take care of that in 2 years. You don't have to worry about a thing. We'll drink.
Exactly.
We will drink that milkshake too, bitch."
That milkshake does, in fact, bring all the boys to the
I
yard.
know. You know,
And damn right.
conservatives
it's
are
better than
like,
yours.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
that's right, bitches. Just you wait. I mean, I think we're definitely. You know what's going to be the funniest part about the midterms? Watching the boner have to give his mallet, his gavel, his huge gavel back to Nancy Pelosi.
Oh, it's gonna be beautiful.
I know. I may have to. I think we're gonna have to actually go there and broadcast live. So just say, "This is it." He's handing her the gavel. That is it. The boner.
He's bursting into tears.
The boner has been emasculated.
Or as I like to call
There's
him,
no
Agent
longer
Orange.
I'm sorry.
Standing boner.
What was that, Rob?
I like to call him Agent Orange.
Agent Orange. Tokyo.
This boner is flaccid.
The boner is now
Get that man
flaccid.
some Viagra.
Not covered under his healthcare plan.
Yeah. So, time to do some parting shots. Rob, what do you got for us? Parting shots, sir.
Thinking. Yeah. So, Fiscal Cliff is coming up. Another great chance at us enjoying some more political porn now that the election is over. I have a unique perspective of this so-called cliff. I think we should go completely over it.
Yeah.
And not give a fuck. Period. We shouldn't even give the Republicans a chance. Let it all go. If we are serious about reducing our deficit, we should let it all go.
Well,
even the taxes on the middle class and lower class.
Well, here's the thing. He can pass the taxes for the middle and lower class and make them retroactive.
Right.
So there's no...
I realize there is a bill that passed through the Senate that would do that if it went through the House.
Yep. And they'll have to do it according to their Grover Norquist pledge. All right, John Kendall. John Kendall, what do you got for us for a parting shot, sir?
On Sunday, I believe it is Veterans Day.
Yes.
Just take some time out of your day to thank a veteran for, the service that they have given us and that they continue to.
Actually, on that...
it takes a strong...
on that note, I forgot to mention that today is the birthday of the United States Marine Corps, and my grandfather was a Marine way back in World War II. So, yeah, good call, John. And I forgot the other birthdays. My Aunt Rose, Nicole Bell, and Yukius Uesugi. So yeah, we got that done. Wes, parting shot, sir.
For my parting shot, I want to go shout out to a particular team They're actually looking for a third member. There's a game show on Game Show Network. It's the American Bible Challenge. It's a Bible trivia show. We are working on sending an atheist team to this show, who will almost certainly completely rock the whole thing, because nobody knows the Bible like an atheist.
Damn straight.
The Bible is leading.
Yeah, there's two guys right now. They're looking for another person in Southern California who is an atheist, who also is very familiar, especially for former clergy, who can go on this show and totally own all the religious people.
That would be fun.
You'll make many viewers question their own beliefs.
They'll be going.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Yeah, and if you sign up, guys, you
better not half-ass it, old man.
Damn right.
All right, my parting shot. Schadenfreude. Schadenfreude. Isn't it awesome?
Yeah, because you're not going to be able to play that next week.
Says who?
No. This is the week of Schadenfreude. Now it's done.
Hold on. We didn't even get through half the material I had prepped. We're going to be reusing some of this. I guarantee it. Because remember...
Probably, but...
Because I really...
Unless it's Schadenfreude fashion.
Okay. I really want to read this letter about the time to tell Democrats to fuck off and die, because this is... I mean, this letter is... I mean, I may have to read this whole thing. It's just... It is just insane. Because he talks about divorcing your wife if she voted for Barack Obama.
There's a place where the Republicans can get all the shit that they want. They can get
Somalia.
Yeah.
Well, not just Somalia.
Iran. They can just say, I divorce you 3 times, and hey, it's done.
Okay.
Oh, you voted for Barack Obama? I divorce you, I divorce you, I divorce you.
Yes. Unfortunately, we really have to wrap things up. I'm sorry. Thank you much, Wes, Rob, John. We will see you again next week for slightly less Schadenfreude on Mike Check Radio with Adam Hebert and Wes Karskan and John Kendall. See you next week, guys.
Time for go to bed.
Aye, it is late. Shall we retire?
Goodbye, my friends. Goodbye to you all. I'll never forget you. Live in peace.
Goodbye, all. Stay happy and good luck.
On our way to great adventures.
Get out of here! Disgusting worm!
Push the button, Frank.
Get you next time, Gadget. Next time.
Visitors, thank you for your attendance.
And hopefully we're cutting this off at the right time. Recording is ended. Good job, everyone. Woo! Good job. So,
I'm telling you, marijuana is a performance-enhancing drug.
What the hell?
God bless
Stop
you.
recording!
Wesley, God bless you.
It won't...
God I don't believe in.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
It won't stop recording.
Well, you can always believe in the flying pasta guy.
The flying spaghetti monster.
Yes.
Yeah, flying.
Although I do like the name the flying pasta guy better, actually.
What the hell?
That's funny.
It won't let me stop the recording.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Can't have a show without technical difficulties.
At least this time it's showing up after the show. It keeps saying I'm not logged in. Fucker, I'm logged in! I'm in the chat room! I don't get this. So I think what I'm going to have to...
No, dude. The show's over anyway, at least, so...
Yeah. Let me... I'm going to be pissed if the show didn't record. I will cry... I will cry havoc and let slip the hogs of war.
It'll be something less for YouTube to censor.
Yeah, that pissed me off, man, because it's not even just that they're reporting, because one of them was valid, and I wasn't going to challenge it. It's this stuff is... It took me 5 minutes to verify Battle Hymn of the Republic was public domain. 5 minutes. So why is it that they can't do that? They're the ones with all these awesome monetary resources. Why is the burden of proof on me?
No idea. No idea.
You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Bastards, anyway.
The show didn't...
True.
The show didn't record.
Oh, wow. The whole thing?
The whole thing. I've got a copy in my hard drive, but it didn't record on Ustream. Because I earlier this week, I had to clear all my cookies because I was having problems. And now it won't let me stay logged in anywhere.
Wow.
Dang.
Motherfuckers. Now I'm pissed because not only am I going to have to upload this to YouTube, I'm going to have to find a way to upload this to Ustream too.
But you will find a way.
I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to find a way to record it. The problem is, I'm on a bandwidth limit. If I do more than 4 gigabytes of traffic in a day, I get capped.
Dang.
Which, believe me, I mean, when I was going to school at John, they don't have a bandwidth limit, do they?
Nope.
So, I mean, that's what I don't get.
Yeah, because, I mean, there's been days where I've downloaded, 20 gigs of, anime and whatnot, and my speeds weren't affected anyhow.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let me try something.
Sentences, put them together.
Yeah, because, I mean, I remember that, there wasn't a limit. So, yeah, great show, everyone. I really enjoyed having Danielle and Shano around. That was fun.
Yeah.
And John will definitely say something about you joining us permanently next week. It slipped my mind. See, part of the problem is it's not letting me... I've got to figure out how to do that. What's wrong?
Huh?
The problem was, I think, that because I somehow got logged out during the show.
Yeah.
Which is why it didn't stop. Which is why I didn't record. So I've got to find a way to fix this, because if I keep doing that, we're not going to be able to record shows anymore. I mean, I'll basically have to upload them myself. And another thing, I need Paul Green. Assuming, let me get in the chat room. How are we gonna when we're ready to get the website? How are we going to get the money together? I mean, who's gonna make the buy? Basically, am I or you? Because it doesn't matter to me, although it should probably be in either my name or Wes's name, just because then, and I don't know if I mentioned this before, Wes, but I'm going to offer Kenny hosting for his podcast so he doesn't have to pay for Libsyn anymore. Because we have unlimited space anyway, why not? I think he's outside.
Sure, no harm in it.
I was about to say, I think he's out smoking.
No, sorry. Actually, I was just handed a big plate of steak and baked potatoes and shrimp.
Well, that sounds like a nice dinner.
Yes, my girlfriend is fucking awesome.
Insert comment here about her being in the kitchen.
The funny thing is, she is in the kitchen right now.
But is she in a binder?
But damn, she's good at it. What? She's good at cooking is controversial? Jesus.
No, I'm looking to see what the problem is.
Anyway, I'm actually, if we don't have anything immediate to discuss, I'm going to go ahead and hop off.
Okay.
Um,
Unless you got...
John, did Adam talk to you about doing what we're going to do, the rap battle?
I thought that was you
Yeah,
guys.
it is.
Yeah, it's going to be in early December.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have that ready?
Yeah. Or could we, like, maybe push it back because, like, you know, that week, like, the 2 weeks from December 1st to December, like...
Oh, those are finals.
13th,
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's going to be
right.
finals week, and I'm going to be balls deep in books.
So are we going to...
What's more important, sir, finals or a battle rap?
You can't do that, man. Because,
so are we going to have to find a sub for you those weeks? Is that what you're saying? Or are you just not going to have time... Are you not going to have time to...
no,
right.
I'll make time for this because, you know, I can. But, you know, like...
I mean, if you can't, that's cool. I just
Yeah.
want to know so I can make a note in my calendar.
Oh, no, definitely not. You know, like I said...
You know, I mean, we could always do the anniversary special on a different week after finals and just say this is our 6-month anniversary. We're going to be celebrating this week, whenever.
Yeah, I'll keep my eyes out.
All right,
for
Paul. I'll get with you on Facebook because I'm gonna try and make the buy next week. Wes, what about you? What do you think?
Sure. Just keep me updated.
Because I could definitely probably come up with the 30.
Yeah, I can make it happen.
You know, it just ticks me off. Did I tell you I found out earlier this week that the state is skimming off my paychecks?
Really?
They say I owe the money.
Big government.
That's the thing is though, they're supposed to take only from my disposable income. I'm earning I'm earning $30 a paycheck, and they're taking $5 of that.
Deal that shit, man.
Now I get that that's not a lot of money, but
yeah, proportionally, it's a pretty good bit.
It's not disposable income if you're only making $30. But
yeah.
Yeah, are you going to be on Facebook later so we can figure out what we're going to do about the website?
Probably.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
Probably later tonight, but over the week I will.
I mean, like I said, whatever. It's just the sooner we figure this out, the better, because I definitely want to try and have the money together by the end of the week, because next week is the week after this coming week is Thanksgiving break. I have nothing to do. That'll be a great time.
Yeah.
That'll be a great time to get the site going.
Yeah, just fill me on the details of, you know, how to submit it and everything.
That's why I gotta figure out. I don't know if we could each just pay for our third and leave, you know, or if it has to be paid for all at the same time. It looks like it has to be paid for all at the same time, but I could probably cover the whole thing as long as I got money in my account as quickly as possible. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah, I mean, just let me know what to do exactly, and yeah, we'll make it happen. It's not a big deal.
Like I said, I'm not trying to be a bother. I'm just saying I really want to take advantage of the fact that I have nothing to do on Thanksgiving.
For sure. Anyway, yeah, but yeah, just send me a message. Anyway, I'm about to bounce. So.
All right, have a good night. Great show, Wes. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So,
yeah.
All right.
Check out later.
Yep. So, any thoughts?
No, not really.
Not the only thing that I can see is like being a problem for me is that like the Saturday after Thanksgiving, like 24th, is like not being able to be here because
if you can't, like I said, it's no big deal. I'm not gonna fire you. I just need to know so I can arrange for probably an extra, because I think the 3. Yes, I know. But I'm saying another person. I think starting with 3 and building on that work. So Rob, you would fill in for John, and then we would need an extra person for the 4th. Does that? Are you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not ignoring you, damn it. So yeah, I gotta.
Yeah, I've gotten to this point now where it's like, I want to be on. I don't want to be stuck in the chat room.
All right, we'll work something out because I have no problem having 4 co-hosts. Now, if it starts to get 5 or 6 or 7, we're probably gonna have a problem.
Yeah, that's a little crazy.
But
Then we just talk over each other like
but
I'm doing
Kenny
right now.
But Kenny has 4 co-hosts. 4 hosts, him and 3 others, and he has guests. So I think we could do 4.
Yeah.
And I don't know what mic you use, but you sound great. And John, like I said, don't worry about the mic. I mean, if I had resources or I had a spare mic I thought I could do without, I'd just send it to you. It's just I'm not working when I need to,
Yeah,
and I kind of noticed John's mic. Is there anything I can do about that?
He's on a laptop microphone, an onboard mic.
Yeah, we might need to get him a new mic then.
At least,
and like I found, Kenny actually gave me a good recommendation for one.
Yeah,
and,
Kenny knows his audio. Kenny's the one who helped me with my montage. And like I said, I'm just so happy about that.
Yeah.
Because it just shows, at least I'm getting good enough to where they will play my stuff.
Yeah.
We gotta watch out though, because that stuff will go straight to your head.
Yeah.
Before we know it, you'll be out there with hookers and blow.
Yeah.
See, like I said, I don't get this. Why will it not let me stay logged in? Yeah. I think
Is that something you changed in your settings or anything like that?
I didn't change anything. I just cleared out my my cookies because DeviantArt was giving me problems. I've got friends on DeviantArt and I post my writing there. And all of a sudden just stopped taking my password and gave me a database error. So I was like, okay, I looked it up and it said, try clearing out your cookies. So I did. And all of a sudden, nothing wants to work.
Do you have this problem with other sites?
To some extent, yeah, but it's mostly just Ustream.
Weird.
Like some of the other art sites I frequent are giving me the same problem. So I must have done something by accident.
Yeah, you may have blocked your cookies.
I've got cookies allowed. I'm on Firefox.
You haven't made the switch to Chrome yet?
Chrome sucks.
I have a great time with Chrome. It's not... No, it's working better for me than Firefox is.
I
prefer... I stick to Firefox because... I don't know, maybe it's just me, but my copy of Spybot, it doesn't pick up tracking cookies on Chrome. So I stick to Firefox.
I've got cookies enabled, Rob. I've got accept cookies from sites, accept third-party cookies, keep until they expire.
Weird.
Pop-ups are blocked. I mean, maybe... Is there an update for Firefox? Because if there is, I'll just update and see what that does.
It depends. Do you have Firefox set to where it updates on automatically?
Who knows? I think it's set to do that, but I haven't received an update in a long time. So let's see. 16.2, 16.2. God damn it. I may just reinstall. You know what I'm thinking about doing? Is just completely reinstalling Windows over the week. And see what that does. See if that fixes some of these problems. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be a little too far.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
no, I guess.
Unless you have a good excuse to do it for other reasons.
I guess you have a point. Just because if you know, let me see what happens. Try start record.